Up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause I'm there for you too.
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero.
Slaves used to work all day, every day, with no pay. But they got free food, water, and shelter. Today, we work all day, nearly every day, and we get paid. But the money we make, we spend on food, water, and shelter. We're still slaves. The only thing that has changed is the illusion of freedom.
I just know we found something so out of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground when you say you left.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
I've told you 1,000 times, Michelle is not a man, okay? So please stop calling her Big Mike. She really hates that. I really don't know what else to say. I just need you guys to believe me, okay? Michelle is not a man, I promise. So stop calling her Big Mike, okay?
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
I am struggling extremely with mental health issues, and I am trying to do that whilst being FTFE. And unfortunately, talking to flat earthers is quite painful.
All right, thank you.
Riverside, wait for me, I'll be coming home.
Law. Nowhere in nature or in a controlled environment can we ever produce a volume outside of containment.
What's that?
Gas been seen or
what's that, brother?
Hands on your head while you working on the floor. Fire up that kush as I walk through the door. Cool your head to
Now let me see you drop it to the
Chicken banana, chicken banana, chicken banana, banana, banana.
I remember when I lost my mind.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you from the heart of dystopia. With our glasses on, we can see through the BS around here. We've got a lot of great people in the audience. We're going to go over the chapter 5 of the word magic series that we've been going over. Tonight's going to be about how the legal and commerce system drain your energy. So that ought to be a lot of fun. Came on a little bit early so that I can get to bed at a decent hour again tonight. Let's see here. Please stop showing giant camel toe lady beast. What are you talking about? People come here for that. Listen, Fuzzy Booger, man, are you telling me that you don't like the sexy dancing girls on the Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind show? Are you serious? Look at, we got this.
You can make a splash like Pippin. Shit, that's nothing. Splash. Everybody call me.
You don't like that? What's it here? See, this is, you can only get that here. You can only get that here. Yeah, you can close your eyes, but that'll be burned into your brain. That's just how the camel toe moose knuckle. Very good, Mr. Super Sidewinder. Yes, I agree. Solid gold dancers. Yeah, we could go with that. Look at this, ready to go is having a rough way to go with it here tonight. That's all right though. We're having a good time. I mean, what's worse, her or Craig with his finger jammed halfway up his fucking nose, digging like there's no tomorrow? I mean, you take your choice. I mean, we're just here to disturb your senses, wake you up, and get you to see through the illusions, man. That's what we do. Look at here, we got Brad and Tasha here tonight with us. We got ready to go Lisa Ward. We got Lisa Marie Tattersall. Happy birthday. She's birthday girl. There's a picture of her and Teddy. Teddy's a little sweetheart. We got DJ New Moon with us tonight. Peter W's here. Spiral Graffiti. Michael Simard. Ready to go. ZXL Master. David Koresh. Let's see. There's Brad and Tasha again. I don't know if it's Brad. I don't know if it's Tasha. It doesn't matter. We like having both of them or either one. We just doesn't matter. Mr. Super Sidewinder. And let's see. Fuzzy Booger. And thank you for donation, Fuzzy Booger. That was awesome. LJ's here tonight with us. Let's see. Who'd I miss? So far, I don't think anybody. David Koresh, Gordzilla, KK Westbury, TJ Hoff. I think I'm getting there. I think I'll post anything too. Geez, you guys been in here just going one mind and one spirit here. New NH guy, New Hampshire guy. I'm assuming that's what that is. Just enough. I know, because I am one. And let's see, Mike Smith here. Holy crap, I made it all the way back up to the top of the list. Let's see, we got Sis here and Foster's Wildlife Sanctuary and Homestead. Rumor is Trump is effed a corpse on Epstein video. Whoa, at this point in time, nothing would surprise me. Nothing at all would surprise me at this point in time. And I bet he's not the only one. It's probably part of some kind of a sick ritual or some shit they got to do. This is just people. There's so many more of us, and we're letting this little handful of fucking perverted motherfuckers control us and bullshit us. You know what? You know what's up. Necrophilia. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know who was also a prolific necrophiliac as well as a PDF file, and that was the late Sir Jimmy Savile, who was good friends with the royals. In fact, what's his name there? Charles wanted him as William's godfather, who William, I guess, is the future king. I guess the King of England stripped his brother Andrew of all of his royal titles and duties over a hoax. And now I guess this hoax is going to be released. It's everybody seeing this dance around game, but what are they distracting us from? Meanwhile, we're rattling sabers with Venezuela. Well, if they can get the public support for it, they'll go into Iran. It's just getting really crazy. I strongly believe that the English language is built upon black magic, and I tend to agree and lean that direction myself, Jeebus Crisp. Absolutely. Dirty Ketchup's here. But the bottom line is this. I mean, let's just look. Let's just look. All these people that are on the world stage, these actors that are up there, and it is a world stage. Every one of them seems to be some kind of a twisted, psychopathic pervert in some respect or another. We got the guy over in France has got his wife, dad, transsexual thing happening, going on. We had this guy in Canada, didn't know if he wanted to dress up like a fucking Indian or a 7-Eleven Indian or a cowboy or what the just a lunatic. We got this Bush or this Trump guy. He's come out. I've said forever. It's like, does he not know that YMCA is like a gay anthem? Does he not know that that is like a grooming song? Getting the young boys to go to the YMCA. So, I mean, come on, everybody could see that when the fucking song came out. And here he comes out there now. His thing, what he's doing with his fist, makes a lot more sense, I guess, to a lot of people. Anyway, with the latest, that's why. Yeah, that's what we ask about it. Anyway, we'll get into some wild shit after we do this chapter tonight, chapter 5. It's a little bit lengthy, but we'll do all right with it. It's entitled, let me bring this up. Chapter 5, How the Legal and Commerce System Drain Your Energy. Now, the link to this entire book is in the description. So if anybody wants to go ahead and go there and pick up the PDF, you can download it to your computer or just view it through your browser if you wish. And that's in the description to the video as well. So you can go ahead and do that if you're so interested. We've already done chapters 1 through 5 or 4, obviously, and previous, and you'll see them. It has the same thumbnail as tonight's show as well. So let's see. I'm just waiting for a few more people to be able to come in and catch up. Pray everyone is having an amazing time. We are. Joseph Osborne, welcome. Welcome. Ken Rotman. All right. Okay, so let's get right into it. How the legal and commerce system drain your energy. Good God. I mean, I know we've all felt it, or at least some of us have. But I know that banking and dealing with legal shit does drain your energy. But why? Why? I mean, it is mentally taxing. There's always that strain of worry. But let's find out. I bet you it's a lot to do with the spell that's being woven. Woven. Yeah. I'm doing good. All right. Let's see. Might be a strong word, but just making sure everybody's good here in the chat. All right. In the Western legal system, when you go to court for a trial, you are not really going to court, but are going to a game arena where they are planning to con you using wordplay, legal words, and word tricks. Where do you go when you want to play basketball, volleyball, or tennis with your friends? You go to a basketball, volleyball, or tennis court. Therefore, a court is where you go to when you want to play a game. They did not name the place where you go to trial a courtroom by accident. Now, I've heard Jordan Maxwell go over this as well. This is why the judge is sometimes referred to as the administrator. The judge is there to administer or manage the rules of the game in the court/game arena, which is why the judge sits behind a bench. The word bench is defined as a seat occupied by an official, especially a judge, or the seat on which the players of a team sit during a game while not playing. Another role of the judge is to act as a banker because he or she is administering a commercial court. It is about commerce and not justice. And we heard Ryan talking about that the other night. Well, incidentally, there is a paywall on that thing about getting your $1 million and whatnot, or whatever, writing yourself. There is a paywall, and it's $100. Found it. I got a screenshot of it. I'll show it to you later. Most of us know that a contract is an agreement between at least two parties. The definition of contract only shows that the overt meaning. It shows you the overt meaning. To find the covert or occult meaning of the word contract, you need to look below its surface, dissect its layers, find its origins, and look at it from many different angles. This means that you may need to use an etymology dictionary to find the origins of the word contract and split and rearrange its letters using the art of anagram. One of the first steps to finding the deeper meaning of the word contract is to separate it into two words. When you split the word contract into two words, you get the term con and tract. As a verb, the word con is defined as to swindle or trick. As a noun, the word tract is defined as a brief treatise or pamphlet for general distribution, usually on a religious or political topic. When you put the definition of the words con and tract together, it translates into a deceptive treatise or a treatise or trickery. This is one of the deeper meanings of the word contract. Every time you sign a contract with a corporation, in other words, a bank and government agency, you agree to deceptive treaties. The good news is that nearly all contracts you made with corporations and government agencies are fraudulent because they do not come with full disclosure. For a contract to be valid, it needs to have an agreement with mutual understanding, competent parties, and full disclosure of material facts. Another word judges and attorneys like to use to deceive you in court is the word understand. When you go to court and the judge asks you the question, do you understand the charges? You should think twice before answering the question. If you were to answer yes, you would basically admit to the court that it has jurisdiction over you. When you split the word understand into two words, you get the term under and stand. To find the occult meaning of the term understand, you need to switch the words under and stand around. When you do this, the phrase understand becomes stand under. By saying to the judge that you understand the charges, you are also telling the judge that you stand under the charges. One of the most common words they like to use to trick you in court is the word person. The word person is a general word for the reason that I can mean a legal person, a natural person, a corporation, a name, or any fictitious entity. Most of the time, when the judge asks you for your name, he is asking for your legal name, which is a legal person. A legal person can also be a corporation. A corporation is a corporation, or corpse-o-ration. The plural form of the word corporation can be written as corpse. Phonetically, the word corpse sounds similar to the word corpse with an E, which is defined as a dead body, usually of a human being. The legal system sees you as a corpse to be used as a ration to feed the matrix of the dark forces. Hence, the word corporation or corp-o-ration, corpse-o-ration. Do you remember what I said in chapter 2 about why the government sees you as legally dead person? Because you are considered lost at sea or dead at sea. Another very important thing you need to know about the legal system is that nearly all of its courts are operating under admiralty or maritime law. These courts deal with fictional characters, in other words, legal persons and corporations, which is why the laws of these courts are called acts and statutes. As a verb, the word act is defined as to perform as an actor. The so-called authorities of the court system are actors, acting in a play known as the legal system. Whether they realize it or not, they are still just actors playing a game to con you. Even though it is just a game, it is a very serious game because you could end up in jail. And that sucks. We only like things that don't suck, okay? Well, within reason. The court and legal system have to operate as a game because they are dealing with fictional beings, fictional things. Because of this, when you get a summons letter to appear in court, the court is not summoning you, the body made of flesh and blood. Instead, it is summoning the legal person or the legal name, which is the fictitious entity used by the government to do business with you, like summoning a ghost, summoning the dead. The legal person, legal name, corporation is a fictitious entity because it only exists on paper and in our minds, just like the government. However, if you agree to act in the capacity of the legal person, you basically are telling the court that you want to be in the game, you want to play, called the legal system. This is why the legal system is all based on presumption when it is dealing with the government and the legal person. When you are in court, you are not just in a game arena to play legal games, but are also in a room to play magic games. This is why the judge is also called a magistrate. And the letter that the court used to notify you to appear in court is called a summons. What do witches do when they want to call spirits to appear in front of them? They summon them. They did not call this letter a summons for no reason. Do you need more evidence that the courtrooms are places for casting magic spells? Read further and I will show you all the evidence you need. Let's see, this is pretty good so far. Got to have my smoke. It says, have you ever wondered why nearly all court documents have seals on them? The reason why they have seals is because seals are sigils used for real magic rituals. Have you also ever wondered why a judge is called a magistrate? Judges are magistrates because they are religious priests dressed in a black robe. In legal terms, the word magistrate is defined as any individual who has the power of a public civil officer or inferior judicial officer, such as a justice of the peace. Magistrate can also be defined as a civil officer charged with the administration of the law. Phonetically, the word magistrate sounds very similar to magistrate or magi straight. One of the origins of the word magi is the Latin word magi, or plural for magus, meaning maga, meaning a magician, learned magician. As far as for the word straight, it means a narrow passage of water connecting two large bodies of water. The word straight has a strong connection to the word canal. Do you remember what I said in chapter 2 about the relationship between the birth canal and the birth canal? Sometimes you have to, it's BERTH and BIRTH for people that are just listening. Sometimes you have to pay attention to the phonics of a word to find its hidden meanings. Because judges are magistrates or magistrates, their hidden role is to administer your body, your ship, vessel to port and cast magic spells on you. One important thing you should know about the word magistrate is that it is also used to describe presidents and governors. The President of the United States is the chief magistrate of this nation. The governors are the chief magistrates of their respective states. Yeah, we got a new one. We got Spam Burger. That's going to be fun. At the deeper level, a courtroom of the legal system is like a ship room or a storage space on a ship. It is a ship room because nearly every court of the legal system is operating under admiralty law, the law of the sea. The body, vessel, product in the courtroom or ship room is you. The legal system sees you as a product and not a living person, which is why there is little or no justice in nearly every court throughout most Western countries and many Eastern countries. Courts are also banks, which is why they have benches and bars. One of the origins of the word bench is derived from the old High German word bank, meaning bench. In English, the word bank can mean a few different things. One of its meanings is an institution for receiving, lending, exchanging, and safeguarding money, and in some cases, issuing notes and transacting other financial business. The word bank can also mean a bench for rowers in a galley, or a row of tier of oars, or the sloping side of any hollow in the ground, especially bordering a river. Hence the word riverbank. The word galley is defined as a seagoing vessel propelled mainly by oars, used in ancient medieval times, sometimes with the aid of sails. Back in the old days, galleys were often rowed by slaves or convicts. Do you remember what I said in chapter 2 about the relation between the word or and the word ore, O-R-E and O-A-R? In chapter 2, I said that the word ore means a metal-bearing mineral or rock. I have the word ore, O-A-R, which is a long shaft with a broad blade at one end, used as a lever for rowing or otherwise propelling or steering a boat. Be aware that most of the words in bold font in the previous 5 paragraphs are somehow related to water. Why water? Because it has to do with the admiralty law, the law of the sea, and commerce. Even the word font is related to water. The word font means a receptacle or baptismal water. I can go on for pages about how all these words are related to water, but I think you should get the point by now. I think we do. It's a lot of water shit in here. It's making me have to pee. No, not really. In one of the previous paragraphs, I said that galleys were often rowed by slaves or convicts. The word convict is often used in the legal system to identify people who have been found guilty of a crime and is serving a sentence in prison. What most of us do not know about the word convict is that there is a deeper meaning to this word. Its deeper meaning is used by the dark forces and their minions to mock people who are in prison or are serving a sentence in prison. Most of us are aware. Hang on a second here. Most of us are aware of the overt definition of the word convict, which is a person proved or declared guilty of an offense. This definition only defines the word convict at the surface level. To find the deeper meaning of the word convict, you need to split it into 2 words, convict, and then switch them around. When you do this, the words transform into victcon. The prefix vict is derived from the Latin root word vic, meaning conquer. It is related to the root word vince, which is where we get the word victim from. This definition of the word victim is a person who is deceived or cheated, as by his or her own emotions or ignorance, by the dishonesty of others, or by some impersonal agency, or a person or animal sacrificed or regarded as sacrificed. To connect the dots, a con, is a victim of a con who has been conquered, deceived, and sacrificed due to his or her ignorance. This is the covert or occult definition of the word convict. So, what is the con? The con is the legal system. Convicts are victims of the con known as the legal system, which is a system created by the minions of the dark forces to con people to give their natural rights and spiritual powers away to the dead. The legal system is a big fat fraud because it is based on presumptions and is run by a bunch of criminals who are using it to con people to pay them money. Most convicts are not really criminals for the reason that they have been conned by the real criminals, which are the people in charge of the legal system. The real criminals mock the victims of the legal system by calling them convicts. Let us turn our attention back to the court and legal system. In a courtroom, there is a section called a bar. Here is an excerpt from wikipedia.org explaining what a bar is. The origin of the term bar is from the barring furniture dividing a medieval European courtroom, similar to the origin of the term bank for the bench-like location of financial transactions in the medieval Europe. In the USA, Europe, and many other countries referring to the law traditions of Europe, the area in front of the barrage is restricted, is restricted to participants in the trial. The judge or judges, other court officials, the jury, if any, the lawyers for each party, the parties to the case, and witnesses giving testimony. This area behind the bar is open to the public. So it's like out in the gallery. This restriction is enforced in nearly all courts. Okay, and that little door, I think, is called a water gate too, just incidentally. In most courts, the bar is represented by a physical partition, a railing or barrier that serves as a bar. As a defendant or plaintiff, you are required to stay behind the bar, a barrier or barrier of the courtroom. Only attorneys, judges, and certain court officials are allowed to go past the bar. Why is that, you ask? Because the court sees you as a prisoner. Where do they lock up prisoners? In a jail or a prison cell. What is a jail or a prison cell made of? Iron or steel bars and barred doors. Nearly all courts operating under the Western legal system are admiralty courts enforcing military laws. And therefore, when you go to court, you are treated as a war criminal. This is why you have to stay behind the bar in a courtroom. It is right in your face and hidden in plain sight. Another definition of the word bar is an ingot, lump, or wedge of gold or silver. This definition shows another relation between the words court and bank. The word bar can also mean a counter or place where beverages, especially liquors or light meals, are served to customers. Have you ever heard someone say, "Let's go get a drink at the bar"? Oh, yeah. One of the words that you should pay attention to in the previous paragraph is the word liquor. The word liquor is derived from the old French word liqueur, meaning fluid, liquid, sap, or oil. It is also derived from the Latin word liquorium, nominative as liquor, meaning liquidity or fluidity, or a liquid, the sea. The English dictionary defines the word liquor as a distilled or spirituous beverage, as brandy or whiskey, as distinguished from a fermented beverage as wine or beer. Did you notice that all the words in the bold font in the previous two paragraphs are also related to water or to the sea? Even their definitions are related to water. By the end of this chapter, you will know why water plays such an important role in commerce. In addition, you will know why the word sea has a strong connection to the word energy. Let us focus our attention back to the hidden roles of judges. Have you ever wondered why judges wear a black robe? The black robe uniform is the symbol for representing a priest who works for the Jesuits or has a connection to the Jesuit order. The black robe uniform also represents a worshiper of the ancient god Saturn. During the ancient times, Saturn was associated with the god of law and justice. Today, many secret societies still worship Saturn as the god of law and justice. According to Jordan Maxwell, the symbol that was used in the religious context for Saturn was the square, and its symbolic color was black. This is why the judges wear a black robe. It is their way of showing respect to Saturn, the god of law and justice. Whether judges realize it or not, they are religious priests who have been brainwashed by the dark forces to cast dark magic spells on people when they are in a courtroom. Do you understand now why judges wear a black robe? Besides judges, priests also wear a uniform similar to a black robe, which is known as a cassock. A cassock, I'm sorry, Cossacks are those Russian things, right? The word cassock is defined as a long, close-fitting garment worn by members of the clergy or other participating in church services, or an ankle-length garment, usually black, worn by priests and choiristers. I guess that is choristers. Okay. Running into a couple of words I've never seen before in my life, but that's interesting. Whether priests realize it or not, they are acting in the capacity of witches and therefore are working for the dark forces to enslave people at the spiritual level. Because of this, when priests are preaching the knowledge of God to people in church, they're actually casting magic spells on them, just like how judges, magistrates cast magic spells on people in court. Because judges are religious priests, there is no separation of church and state. Therefore, furthermore, nearly all churches are incorporated and therefore they belong to the state. So, where do attorneys fit into this magic and black robe cult? Attorneys are also like witches because they are using the power of the words to cast magic spells on people. However, they do not have as much power as judges. One thing you need to know about Western attorneys is that nearly all of them work for the Crown Temple and therefore are Templar agents. One way to tell if attorneys are Templar agents is to ask them if they are a member of the Bar Association. Whether bar attorneys realize it or not, they are committing crimes in the United States, Canada, Australia, and other countries under the guise or appearance and color of law. Bar attorneys work for the same secret organization, the Crown of England and the Crown Temple, that tried to enslave American people in the 1700s. These two secret organizations were heavily involved in the killing of Americans during the American War of Independence. Today, the Crown of England and the Crown Temple still have the same dark agendas. Unfortunately, they have already taken over in the court and political system of the USA over 100 years ago. These two secret organizations are controlled by the Vatican, which is the religious center of the dark forces. And I believe that 100%. I truly do, especially you see that weird ass sculptures and everything they got. Man, I believe that 100%. People who work for the legal system are unknowingly or knowingly abetting fraud. This system is run by a bunch of criminals working for the Crown of England, the Crown Temple, and the Vatican. Because of this, nearly all judges and bar attorneys are traitors to the human race, and therefore judges do not deserve to be called Your Honor. Even though nearly all judges and bar attorneys are traitors to the human race, there are some judges and attorneys who are working for the legal system because they want to learn how it really works so that they can teach people how to free themselves from the vampiric system of slavery known as the legal system. By now, you should know that the legal system is saturated with dark magic. You should also know why judges of the Western legal system and priests of the churches are acting in the capacity of witches, which is why their hidden role is to summon people to come to their courts or chapels so that they can cast magic spells on them. Be aware that magic can be used for good or evil purposes. And here we get into why commerce is a game of battery for draining your energy. Holy shit. I do have a link pinned up in the thing. I don't know where my normal people's at, but that's all right. We're going to get right through this thing. I ain't sure how far this goes into how many pages this chapter is, but that's all right. It's getting pretty good. So why commerce is a game of battery for draining your energy. It says at the deepest level, the commerce game created by the dark forces to enslave humanity is a very sick and evil game. However, if you learn how this game really works and know a good percentage of its hidden rules, you can find ways to prevent the dark forces from enslaving the human race. The main purpose of the commerce game is to con and trick you to temporarily give up your energy, natural rights, and spiritual powers. This is why before they can summon you to go to court, they need to charge you first. When it comes to the legal and commerce system, the words charge, battery, and currency play a very big role for powering the commerce game of the dark forces and keeping it alive. In legal terms, when someone gets beaten up, that person is often referred to as a victim of battery. If the victim knows who committed the crime and presses charges, the person who did the battery will be summoned to go to court to face the charges. In business, when a company outsells or outperforms its competitors, one of the common words used to describe this process is the word beat. When the suffix ing is added to the word beat, it changes to the word beating. Hence, company A is beating company B in sales. The game of business or commerce is a game of battery, and therefore one business team or many business teams will eventually get beaten by the winner. Sports are also games of battery. In baseball, the combination of a pitcher and the catcher is called the battery. This can be proven by looking at one of the definitions of the word battery, which is the pitcher and catcher considered as a unit. I did not know that. Have you ever heard someone said batter up in baseball? Add the letter Y to the word batter in the term batter up, and you get the phrase battery up. Okay. The word battery is an important word in commerce and law because it plays an important role in the process of harnessing the energy of humanity. In other words, this is one of the many methods that the dark forces like to use to drain our living energy. After collecting our energy using magic spells, the dark magicians and their masters, the dark forces, use it to charge their corporations, corps, or dead entities, banks, and other commerce systems so that they can keep their game of conning humanity alive. Without our energy to charge their corporations and commerce systems, their evil game of commerce will not have enough power to stay in business. As human beings, we are being used as batteries. This is why before we go to court, they have to charge us first. During the court hearing, the judge reads the charges and then charges them off or discharges them after the verdict or judgment is made. This process is called a hearing because when you are charged with something and summoned to go to court, you are called the defendant or deaf end ant, which is a deaf person who is a ward of the court and is about to meet his end by the judge. Hence the word defendant or deaf end ant. Look at here. There's Janusz. What's happening, Janusz? All right. Says the phrase, a ward of the court means an incompetent person or a person who is unable to care for himself. So the court must assume responsibility for his or her well-being. This is how the court sees you, a deaf and ignorant child who does not know the definitions of words. This is why a short meeting in a courtroom is called a hearing. The court hearing is done to test your hearing and understanding of words. If you, the defendant or deaf end ant, agree to the charges, you basically swear an oath to give up some of your energy to the judge, because the word ant means oath or a promise to oneself, resolution in Turkish. The judge has also sworn an oath, but his oath is to the god Saturn. Remember what I said earlier, why judges wear a black robe? It is their way of paying respect to the god Saturn, the god of law and justice. Another symbol used as a religious context for the Saturn is the black square. The black square can also be found in the teachings of Islam. Have you ever heard of the sacred black cube in Mecca called the Kaaba? This sacred black cube that the Muslims pilgrimage to represents the god Saturn. The black mortarboard graduation hat that high school and college students wear when they graduate also symbolize the god Saturn. Saturn was and is still such an important god that today we dedicated a day for Saturn, which is known as Saturn Day or Saturday. It is right in your face. Saturn is also known as the Lord of the Ring. When people get married today, they use the ring as a symbol for their marriage. What they do not realize is that the ring also symbolizes the god Saturn. This is the origin of the ring ritual that people do when they get married. What you need to know about rituals is that they have energetic binding forces attached to them. These binding forces are not dependent upon personal knowledge or beliefs. By simply taking the action to perform the religious ring ritual, you consent to whatever the ring ritual is designed to do. During the ancient times, Saturn was also known as El, the Hebrew word for God. In the Hebrew Bible, there are 4 words translated. God is El, Elha, Eloaha, and Elohim. The oldest Semitic word meaning God is El. Linguistics believe its base meaning is strength or power. El is the strong one, or the deity God, the deity God with a big G. When translating names that contain the segment El, it usually refers to Elohim. That is Elohim or God, also known as Eloha, which is hello and goodbye in Hawaii. The one thing you should know about the 4 Hebrew words for God is that they have a strong connection to the name of the Islam god called Allah. Saturn, being El, was under the dominion of Egypt. That whole area had its philosophies, ideas, and its peoples being dominated by Egypt. So Isis was the first main divinity. Let's see, where was I at? I lost it.
What's up?
What's happening, buddy?
What's up?
So now with the coming of Akhenaten, the worship was then changed to worship of Amun-Ra, the sun. This is where we get sun ray from Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra was worshipped in the temples as God's son or sun. At the end, S-U-N or S-O-N, at the end of the service, they would say Amen, because they were sending a prayer to their God through Amun-Ra, God's son or son. God damn, this is really confusing to do, man. So they would say Amen when they sent the prayer through God's son or son. I don't believe that. I think that that means it is so, or so be it. The ancient Egyptians said nobody had seen God, and perhaps there is nobody who is ever going to see God. But when you have seen the Son, you have seen the Father. And when you pray to the Father, you pray directly to the Father, but you send your prayer through God's Son, Amun-Ra. So at the end of the prayer, you say Amen. I don't believe that. No. Where did that come from? I don't know where you got that from. 31. Is there a link on that? Let's see. Wait. Oh, Jordan Maxwell. That's where you got that from. How do I go back where I was?
He's got notes right there. If you look on the end of the page right there, it's got the notes on where he got all that from.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's when you know how prayer actually works and you understand what Amen means. It means it is so be it. Now, whether it's got its origins in that somehow, that's possible.
Yeah, maybe it's a dual meaning thing.
see, where was I? Yeah. See, that's what I hate about hitting those little fucking things. Take you back someplace you don't want to go.
I think it was down more.
No, I think I'm up a little higher. I'll know when I see that little short paragraph. See, this is into the mortgage we was in. Oh. Give me a minute, folks. I'll find it. I shouldn't have hit that thing. Yeah, well, that's why I don't like that fucking erroneous shit like that. You know? I think I'm almost there. Close. Oh, you know what? It was right at the bottom of the fucking page. I'm looking for it. Man, this is a long fucking chapter. Damn it, where was that? Okay, I'm almost there.
Dreamy said the Lord's Pray ending was changed. It's only found in an old African Bible with the correct ending. Didn't you say, were you the one that was saying, or was it Janusz, that that the Ethiopians have the complete Bible?
Yeah, I was saying about that, yeah. They've got books of Adam and Eve 1 and 2, Book of Giants, all that shit is in there.
There it is. See the notes on the bottom? Hebrew streams, Elohim in biblical context. It's Hebrew. Elohim, they use that name in the Mormon, in the Bible, the Mormon
It's
Bible.
plural. It's a plural term.
Isn't it like the Father?
It's plural. It's like a bunch of them.
Yes, Elohim.
El is singular.
Yes, Elohim.
You're real low.
I can't hear you, Jake. Let me look at your shit here.
Can you hear me now?
Hang on.
Hello?
Yeah, we can barely hear you, man. I'm going to look at your mic settings here. Try it again. Go ahead and say something. I can't unmute him. I turned his mic up. He's not listening to me.
Yeah, he's probably checking the settings.
Anyway.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's still really low, man.
Go out and come back.
Yeah, it's my mic.
Okay.
Yeah, the middle one where it says Abraham Publications, the name of El in the Bible, meaning El.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to get into that a little bit further. Hebrew streams.
Yeah.
Maxwell, Jordan Maxwell. Because I found some of the shit that Maxwell puts out is bullshit.
Yeah, I saw
what about now?
Yeah, now it's way loud.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, so
just
you were asking about Elohim.
Okay,
you're correct. It's about the Trinity, Holy Trinity. So whoever is modalist, he knows jack shit. It's about the three gods. Let us.
I don't know about that
in our image. And you are correct as well in the matter of Maxwell, because he was friend with the 32 and 33 level of Masons, and it's from his own mouth. So in the matter of maritime law, he was speaking the truth, but he couldn't say everything.
Yeah.
So if you can't say everything, it means you are controlled. As simple as that. And he was saying that himself. But people praising him, they don't fucking get it that he's controlled, and he was allowed to release some kind of some knowledge.
Yeah, because if he said the wrong things, they would have easily made him go away.
Sure.
Yes, exactly.
Quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, real whistleblowers don't freely go out talking shit.
No,
you know?
they lit a little small truths.
The real one was Alan Watt. That's one of the few. And Bill Cooper. That's just two, maybe three. The rest, fucking controlled.
Yeah, I mean, they killed him real Cooper, Bill Cooper.
Yep.
Mhm.
Real quick. Who was the other guy that he had his arm lasered off?
You get what?
That's Cooper.
No, the other guy. Jesus, the blonde
Oh, I know.
guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the Dulce incident?
Yeah, Dolce. They lowered him down and fucking something cut his friggin'. He took his shirt off on one of them, and I was like, "Holy God!" It went from his waistline to his shoulder, literally. It's like sliced him open like somebody.
I'm trying to remember what that guy's name was, man.
And they found him with a cord wrapped around his neck somewhere out in the desert.
Catheter.
Yeah. It was like a tube, like a fucking.
It was a catheter.
Yeah. I forget his name. Blonde-headed guy with a crew cut.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the hell his name was too. It'll come to me.
I see him in front of my eyes. I just freaking forgot his name.
Man, that was from a long time ago too.
No, not fucking. What was his name? He was exposing dumps as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's do a look for. Hang on, I gotta do something here.
I'll find him.
No Springmeyer.
There. Now let's see.
So I didn't mean to throw you guys off.
Anyway, we'll find it. Let's get through this book.
Go ahead, I'll find him.
All right. Today, after Christians pray to God, they say amen. What Christians do not realize is that when they say amen, they agree to pray to and acknowledge the ancient God Ra. Another thing most Christians do not realize is that their religion is filled with pagan beliefs. Furthermore, they do not know that their religion has many similarities to Islam. The content in the previous few paragraphs is evidence of this. Islam is just another version of Christianity. Let us focus our attention back to the court hearing process. During a court trial, when the defendant loses the case, the judge will often order the defendant to pay the court and plaintiff with currency. The word order is defined as a command of a court or judge. It can also mean a command or notice issued by a military organization or a military commander to troops, sailors, etc. Do you remember what I said earlier about why courts operating under the Western legal system are military courts? They are military courts because they fall under the jurisdiction of the law of the sea, admiralty law. As for the word currency, its hidden definition is the flow of energy. This is why the stored energy in a battery is called electric current, or the currency of electricity. This word currency originated from the Latin word currens, which present participle of career, which means to run. Now, why would they base the word currency on a Latin word that does not have much to do with the paper, money, or coin? Because it is not really about the paper, money, or coin. Instead, it's about the harnessing of energy of humanity. To find out why currency has a strong relation to energy, you need to know the occult meaning of the word currency. To do this, you need to use phonetics and separate the word currency into two words. When spoken out loud, the word currency sounds similar to the term currency, which, like SEA, which does a current. What does a current do in a river? It flows or runs to the sea. Keep in mind that the Latin word currens means to run. The word current can also mean a flowing flow as of a river or something that flows as a stream. What is it?
The cash flow, for example. I want to interject. It was Phil Schneider.
That's it.
Yeah. And Ted Gunderson, another one. I just remember.
Ted Gunderson.
Yeah. Hard to remember those names.
Right. Let's see. The flowing movement of current is what causes the fresh water in the river to flow to the sea. Once the fresh water is in the sea, its current is now part of the current sea, or the current of the sea, hence the word currency or current sea. It is important to know that seawater has a lot of salt, and therefore it conducts electricity better than fresh water. In other words, as a medium, seawater is better at transferring energy. Hence, the word electrolyte or electrolyte, light is energy. The word electrolyte is defined as any substance that dissociates into ions when dissolved in a suitable medium or melted, and thus forms a conductor of electricity. Seawater is saturated with electrolyte or electric light, just like human blood. Therefore, seawater is the blood of the earth. The word currency also sounds similar to the term current qi. In Chinese, the word qi, also known as qi, means natural energy, life force, or energy flow. Be aware that the Chinese word qi is pronounced somewhat similar to the English word see. Okay, so they say it's see. I've always pronounced it qi. Based on these occult definitions, currency means the flow of the life force energy. When you really think about it, currency is a medium for exchanging or transferring life force energy, which is why the dark forces are obsessed with using currency to drain your life force energy. One important thing you need to know about the word sea is that it is heavily connected to Admiralty law, the law of the sea. When judges and attorneys talk about the word sea in Admiralty law, whether they realize it or not, they are not always talking about water. At the deeper level, they are talking about life force energy. This becomes clear when you know that the water carries the currency, current chi, which is the life force energy needed to charge the dead matrix of the dark forces and their corporations or corpses. The life force energy in water is why water is essential for life to exist in the universe. Currency is also a medium used by corporations to pay their employees. One of the definitions of the word currency is something that is used as a medium of exchange, money. The word medium means an intervening substance through which something else is transmitted or carried on, like the sea is a medium. It is important to know that the plural form of the word medium means a person thought to have the power to communicate with the spirits of the dead or with agents of other world or dimension, also called psychic. In other words, current chi is a medium used by the dark magicians to communicate with and transfer life energy to the dead or dark forces, which are groups of demons. The information in the previous paragraph becomes even more clear when you study the occult definitions of the word cryptocurrency. To find the occult meaning of the word cryptocurrency, you need to split it into two words, crypto and currency, and study their hidden definitions. The word crypto originated from the Greek word kryptos, meaning hidden, concealed, or secret. As for the origin of the word currency, it is derived from the Latin word currens. When translated to English, it means to run. The information in the previous paragraph does not tell you the deeper occult meanings of the word cryptocurrency. Therefore, you need to dissect the word even further so that it becomes the word crypt. One of the origins of the word crypt is derived from the Latin word crypta, meaning vault or cavern. Another definition of the word crypt is a subterranean chamber or vault, especially one beneath the main floor of a church, used as a burial place, a location for secret meetings, etc. In other words, it is a place to bury the dead. When you put all your occult definitions of the word cryptocurrency and the word currency together, you should come to the conclusion that cryptocurrency is the hidden digital currency that the dark magicians want to use to control the global economy and drain humanity's life force energy so that they can feed this life force energy to the dead, the dark forces. Hence the word cryptocurrency. In other words, the words crypt and crypto, hidden vault for the dead, and currency, flow of energy, can be translated as the hidden vault or chamber for storing energy for the dead or flowing energy to the dead. The good news is that if we can prevent the dark magicians from controlling cryptocurrency and learn how to use it in harmony with nature, cryptocurrency can be an effective financial transaction tool to use for exchanging goods and services. One very important thing you need to know about cryptocurrency is that it is the dark magician's favorite economic tool to use for draining your energy and using it to charge the dead. The free manual Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, we're familiar with that on this show, does a great job of explaining the relation between energy and economics. Here are some paragraphs extracted from this manual about energy and economics. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. Natural science is the study of the source and control of natural energy, and social science, theoretically expresses as economics, is the study of the sources and control of social energy. Both are bookkeeping systems, mathematics. Therefore, mathematics is the primary energy science. And the bookkeeper can be king if the public can be kept ignorant of the mythology of the bookkeeping. All of the mathematical theory developed in the study of one energy system, in other words, mechanics, electronics, etc., can be immediately applied in the study of any other energy system, in other words, economics. Mr. Rothschild had discovered that currency or deposit loan accounts had the required appearance of power that could be used to induce people, inductance, with people corresponding to a magnetic field, into surrendering the real wealth in exchange for a promise of greater wealth instead of a real compensation. They would put up a real collateral in exchange for a loan of promissory notes. Mr. Rothschild found that he could issue more notes than he had backing for, so long as he had someone's stock of gold as a persuader to show his customers. Mr. Rothschild loaned his promissory notes to individuals and to governments. These would create overconfidence. Then he would make the money scarce, tighten the control of the system, and collect the collateral out through the obligation of the contracts. The cycle was then repeated. These pressures could be used to ignite a war. Then he would control the availability of currency to determine who would win the war. In this structure, credit presented as a pure element called currency has the appearance of capital, but is in effect negative capital. Hence, it has the appearance of service, but is in fact indebtedness or debt. It is therefore an economic inductance instead of an economic capacitance. And if balanced in no other way, will be balanced by the negotiation of population, war, genocide. The total goods and services represent real capital called the gross national product, and currency may be printed up to this level and still represents economic capacitance. But currency printed beyond this level is subtractive, represents the introduction of economic inductance, and constitutes notes of indebtedness. War is therefore the balancing of the system by killing the true creditors, the public, which we have taught to exchange true value through inflated currency, and falling back on whatever is left of the resources of nature and regeneration of those resources. Economics is only a social extension of a natural energy system. It also has its three passive components. Because of the distribution of wealth and the lack of communication and lack of data, this field has been the last energy field for which a knowledge of these three passive components has been developed. In simple terms, the previous paragraphs in block quotation are basically telling you that the currency can be used to steal people's energy and time. It is important to know that paper or digital currency can be used for good or evil purposes. Unfortunately, the dark forces and their minions are in control of the global financial system, and therefore, if they were to succeed at using digital currency to totally control the global economy, the human race would suffer greatly for many years. Yep, and they get ready to pull that bullshit on us, man. Because cryptocurrency is a digital currency, it can be used to totally enslave us in the matrix. This matrix is an artificial computer-generated hologram that is managed by a very advanced quantum computing system. This artificial holographic matrix was created by the dark forces and their minions to enslave us. In other words, the matrix is the hell on earth. Many people are worried that if they do not do good deeds and join a religion, they may go to hell after they die. What they do not know is that they are already living in hell. It is called the Matrix, which is the land of the dead. To comprehend how the Matrix was created, You need to know what the universe is made of. At the deepest level of the external reality, everything is energy and consciousness. When I say external reality, I'm talking about the reality outside of the fabric of space. The realm behind the fabric of space is known by today's scientists as dark energy. Okay, here we go with that bullshit. Ancient civilizations referred to it as the ether. No, those two things are not even close to the same thing. I don't know where you got that. In certain occult teachings, the ether is known as the fifth element. In Sanskrit, it is called Akasha, which is the essence of all things in the material world. After the ether, the next level of the external reality is made of crystallizations of frozen light. Some spiritual teachings refer to them as kalons. When these kalons are grouped together in grid-like patterns, they form the morphogenic field crystal body. Morphogenetic field is an invisible and living throughout form field that functions as the blueprint or template upon which the matter is manifested. It is also a field that allows consciousness to create structure so that it can experience itself. To make it easier for you to understand, imagine that kalons are like light bulbs. When these kalons or light bulbs are charged with energy, they light up in certain ways, creating light patterns. These are the energy or light codes of the universe. These light codes work similar to quantum computer codes or qubits. Your perception of the reality is created when your body and mind process these. That's another thing too. Hang on one sec. Light codes and project them as coded light into the external world. This all occurs at the subconscious level. At the conscious level, you see these encoded light as matter. Now think about this. You know, they told old Noah to build this ark in so many qubits by so many qubits. And this is also a unit of quantum computing. You know, and I was thinking, how do you get, you know, two of every animal on a boat like that, you know? Just fitting them, you know, just for that period of time. And I was like, maybe their genetic information was stored in qubits. I don't know. Just some food for thought, just something that passed through my head.
That's
Always
possible.
gotta look. Always
Well,
got
they'd have to artificially inseminate all the females.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to take as well into consideration that the Satan is most important, the most intelligent after God, because that's how God created him. So Satan is using God's creation against him. So if there was even a qubit, now we have qubits, like you say, in the computers, because he is using God's creation. He's trying to use God's creation against him to deceive people. That's his agenda.
A qubit in measurements is about 18 inches.
Yeah, something like that. I have.
It's kind of. It's generally the distance between your elbow to the tip of your middle finger.
And you know that the length of your foot is the same length as your arm, as between when it breaks between the hand and I don't know what's called the part. Exactly the same size. Anyone
There's
can
a
put the hand.
Fibonacci sequence between the tip of your finger and your first digit, tip of your finger and the second digit, tip of your finger and the third digit, all the way up your arm. Is if your whole body's made of a Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah.
Your head. That's how they figure out the female bone structure and the male bone structure. They can take your head and put a female's head only so many times because their shoulder blades are shorter.
Yeah.
So you can't fit the head on. But males are much wider, so they can fit the head like 3 times.
Yeah.
The other
For
thing I
women
read
is exactly if you take as a middle head, so in a matter of arms, you can put only half head on each of side. On each arm.
The tips of your fingers.
Straight. Yeah.
The tips of your fingers also. So
Well, this is what makes women such excellent sandwich makers.
The other thing is there's a trick, I learned a long time ago about how you fit pants when you're buying pants. Take the pants, you fold them flat so they're flat together, then wrap them around your neck.
Yeah.
And and somebody said that to me, and I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And he's like, "No, it really works. I'm dead serious."
Do you know why women have shorter feet than men?
No clue.
It's easier for them to stand closer to the sink.
Well, do you know why women rub their eyes when they wake up in the morning?
Because they can't scratch the balls.
Yeah, they don't have any nuts to scratch.
Do you know why we as a man we don't have breasts like women?
I don't know. I'm disappointed about that because I figured that'd be something to do while you're watching TV. You know.
Yeah. You know why? Because we wouldn't have enough skin for balls.
All right, let's get back into this. The Dark Forces are well aware of how Kalons work. Because of this, they were able to create artificial quantum computer codes and manipulate our bodies and minds to process these artificial codes. This process allows them to hijack our natural reality to a certain degree. It also allows them to plug our DNA into their matrix and therefore enslaving our minds inside a quantum computer generated reality. The purpose for plugging our DNA into their matrix is to enslave our minds so that they can use us as batteries. The dark forces need to feed on our life force's energy to survive because they have been cut off from the eternal life current of the Supreme Creator. This is why they like to order their minions to engineer wars. Wars create a lot of fear energy for the dark forces to feed on. They love the energy of fear because it gives them a high of lust, similar to the high feeling that a drug addict experiences when they do drugs. Because the demons of the dark forces are the dead entities that need to feed on humanity's life force energy to survive, they are astral parasites or energy vampires. They are energy vampires for the same reason that they need to feed on the energy of humanity to survive, and they need our permission before they can do anything to us. All contracts are voluntary. This is where the idea of vampires come from. The human DNA works similar to an antenna, and the planets and stars are like radio stations that send out signals.
Yes,
Are electromagnetic waves.
I want to
These signals contain the codes of reality for the reason that they have energy codes, information in them. When these signals reach our bodies, they are processed by our minds and our bodies in a way that allow our DNA to use the information to protect the right frequencies of light energy into the external world. This process literally creates our perception of reality and material world. This is possible because matter is a projection of energy. In other words, the material world is a giant hologram. And let's see, here is an excerpt from his book, Staradigm, second edition. It explains this process further. To help simplify how our external reality is constructed through holographic projections of energy, let us turn our attention to how a movie projector works. A movie projector basically works by continuously moving films across a path between a light source and a lens, causing a light effect that projects the image inside the films onto a screen. Okay, we know how movies work, right? It says the movie projector can be metaphorically referred to as the observer's consciousness, and the light can be associated with the energy. Each film can be metaphorically referred to as a point in time. The lens acts like DNA, and the screen upon which the illusion is projected on is like the unified field from which all matter is manifested. When the film is not moving, everything is still, and therefore there is no time or linear function. Once the projector is turned on and the film starts moving, there are movements on the screen, causing an illusion of linear actions in time. The illusion that is projected onto the screen or unified field is caused by the light or energy as it travels through the lens, DNA, causing it to project outward onto the external world. The illusions that are projected can be likened to an observer's experience. Some important things you need to know about time are that it does not move and it is not truly linear. Linear time is only achieved when an observer's consciousness moves through portions of the unified field of time. When an observer's consciousness does not move through this unified field, time is simultaneous. And I'm wondering, will this go over to his book? If it does, I'll put the link Stardime for anybody that might be interested. It's redirecting me. No, nothing's happening. No. Links in this PDF are not really any good. Anyway, we went through all this, right? There we go. To trap us in their matrix, the dark forces and their minions created very advanced holographic technology to intercept some of the natural signals of our planets and sun so that they can replace some of these signals with their artificial quantum computer codes. These computer codes are the codes of their matrix. When the dark forces use their holographic technology and quantum computers to broadcast the computer codes to the matrix to Earth, these codes are received by our DNA, and then our DNA processes the codes and projects the information as encoded light into the external world. This process alters our natural holographic reality, allowing the dark forces to create a reality that they want. The matrix used by the dark forces to overlay the Earth's natural reality is one of their greatest technologies for enslaving our minds and souls. The matrix is very effective for enslaving us because it looks very similar to the natural reality of Earth, and therefore most people have no idea that they live in a matrix reality, which is an artificial hologram. Unlike the matrix, our natural reality and the universe are made of crystallizations of frozen light, which are energy codes. I don't know what the fuck does any of this shit got to do with any of these goddamn words and stuff, the word magic. I really don't know. They're really getting off into some crazy shit right here. Is there evidence that the universe is made of energy codes? To find one of the evidence, you need to study the work of the theoretical physicist Dr. James Gates Jr. Recently, he found evidence of computer codes in the fabric of space. Working on a branch of physics called supersymmetry, Dr. James Gates Jr. discovered what he describes as the presence of what appear to resemble a form of computer code called error correcting codes embedded within or resulting from the equations of supersymmetry that describe fundamental particles. He called these codes adinkras. Okay, so remember those things about where there was people taking DMT and using a laser and being able to see these codes within like the fucking wall and shit? Did you guys see any of that? No? Okay. All right, so one of the tools that the dark forces like to use to prevent us from deleting the digital codes of their matrix and replacing them with the natural energy codes of the universe is language. Other tools they like to use to prevent us from rising above their matrix are religion and the media. By using religion and the media to condition us how to think, they can control our thought patterns to a large degree. This allows them to create a reality that they want. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, dirty ketchup right there, that DMT laser shit. That's crazy. If you know that the human collective thought is what creates human reality on Earth, then you should know why the dark forces want to control how we think. Reality is thought construction, and therefore, when we, the human race, collectively think in certain ways, our thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape and define what our reality will look like. This is possible because matter is an illusion and is focused into existence by the power of thought. As a collective, we are literally creating the reality of Earth. We are not aware of this thought manifestation process because it occurs in our subconscious minds. The language, media, education, and religious systems are four of the main tools that the dark forces like to use to hijack our reality. The political, technology, and energy systems are also three other important tools that they like to use to manipulate and control our reality. It is important to know that these tools are not evil, but are being used for evil purposes. It is also important to know that everyone living on Earth has been physically and spiritually enslaved by the dark forces. This is why Earth is called a prison planet. The dark forces are well aware of how the universe works. This is because they understand the language of the universe and know how sacred geometry works. The language of the universe is based on frequency, light, sound, vibration, and sacred geometry. It is a very powerful communication and information system. In the wrong hands, a certain percentage of this language system can be used to control us and hijack our reality. However, it can also be used to free us from the matrix of the dark forces. The movie The Matrix was created by the dark magicians and their minions to mock us and tell us that we have been enslaved by their masters, the dark forces. Unfortunately, most of us are too brainwashed, ignorant, and spiritually brain dead to realize this. To learn more about the matrix of the dark forces, download or view my free seminar titled The Matrix Decoded, Decoding the Occult Messages of the Matrix, and study the information in it. This seminar teaches you how to free your mind and soul from the real matrix. Let's see if this opens up. Nope. This page isn't working right now. None of this shit's working. Let us focus our attention back to the relation between corporation and currency. When you go to work at a corporation, the corporation often pays you hourly. Every hour is recorded to make sure that you are paid for investing your time and energy into the company. After you have worked for a certain amount of time, you are given a weekly or bi-weekly paycheck, usually on Friday. Once you take your paycheck to the bank to cash it for currency, the currency now represents your time and energy. One important thing you need to know about the words bank and currency is that they are related to the word river. What does a river have on its two sides to prevent water from flowing out of it? That's right, river banks. Corporate banks are like rivers because they regulate currency or currency. In other words, they regulate the flow of energy, just like how our river banks regulate the flow of the energy of water. They did not combine the word river and the word banks to make the word river banks by accident. To understand how currency is used to drain your energy at a deeper level, you need to know certain occult definitions of the word commerce. The word commerce is defined as an interchange of goods or commodities, especially on a large scale between different countries, foreign commerce, or between different parts of the same country, domestic commerce, trade, business. It can also mean sexual intercourse or intellectual or spiritual interchange, communion. To find the deeper meanings of the word commerce, you need to know its origins. One of the origins of the word commerce is the Latin word commercium, meaning trade or trafficking. The word trafficking is defined as the movement of vehicles, ships, persons, etc. in an area along a street, thorough, an air lane, over a water route, etc. Therefore, the word has a strong connection to water and ships. Remember what I said at the beginning of this book about how your body is related to the ship and water. In legal terms, the word trafficking means the carrying on of an illegal commercial activity, such as selling drugs or substances that are banned. Because one of the definitions of the word commerce is sexual intercourse, and the word commerce is related to trafficking, when people participate in commerce, they are, in a sense, selling their bodies for sex. In other words, they are the whores or horse of Babylon. The commerce system that creates debt and exploits nature is the dark forces' favorite way of trafficking human beings and tricking us to commit adultery so that they can turn us into human batteries. It is their way of tricking us to commit sin and treason against humanity and nature and offend the supreme creator. Hence the Bible verse Romans 6:23, for the wages of sin is death. Sin is debt or dead or death. One of the many systems that is part of the commerce system is the stock market. This vampiric financial system is rigged and commits illegal and unlawful commercial activities on a daily basis. Every day, people are losing their money in the stock market and therefore are being screwed by the commerce system. Two slang definitions for the word screw, chiefly British, are an old broken down horse and salary wages. In American English, the slang definition of the verb version of the word screw means to practice extortion, to engage in promiscuous sex, or to have coitus. The word coitus means sexual intercourse. The definitions of the words in bold font in this paragraph and in previous few paragraphs show how the commerce and stock market system are related to sex, money, and horse. The commerce system is full of sexual symbolism because the dark forces and their minions are not only after our life force energy, but also our sexual energy. This is why sexual symbolism is everywhere, especially in television commercials. They are using the commerce system to steal our sexual energy and turn us into whores or horse of Babylon. In the stock market, the process of selling stocks is also known as stock trading. The people who trade stocks in the stock market are known as traders and therefore are traders of humanity. Why is that, you may ask? Because phonetically, the word trader sounds very similar to the word trader. A trader of stocks is a trader of humanity because he or she is participating in the financial game to steal humanity's energy and enslave the human race. The word trader means dealer, trafficker, one engaged in commerce. The word trader can also mean a ship used for trade, especially foreign trade. As for the word traitor, it means a person who betrays another, a cause, or any trust, or a person who commits treason by betraying his or her country. The definitions of the previous paragraph show the connection among the word ship, water, and commerce. Remember, it is all about tricking us to agree to allow the dark forces to steal our energy using commerce, maritime law, and admiralty law, law of the sea. Why the sea? Because the sea is mostly made of water, and the water carries the current or currency. Furthermore, our bodies are also mostly made of water, which is the water that contains our life force energy. When you participate in their debt-based commerce system, you are in a sense committing treason against humanity. If you want strong evidence of this, study how the debt-based monetary system and the stock market screw people over and over again with fraudulent debt. These two financial systems are based on greed and competition, which are great for manifesting negative emotions, violence, and wars. For someone to make millions of dollars in the stock market, hundreds and possibly thousands of people have to lose a lot of money in that market. Did that single person work 1,000,000 times harder than the rest of the people to earn that much money? What that person did was treason against the supreme creator because he sold people's soul energy to the dark forces so that he could become a millionaire. People who make money from the stock market and other similar systems are helping the dark magicians to enslave the people of the world and preventing poor countries from thriving. The people living in these countries are not poor because they are dumb or lazy. In fact, many of them are very intelligent and work a lot harder than people living in rich countries. The truth is that people living in poor countries lack wealth because it has been engineered that way by the dark magicians and their international bankers who control the global central banks. The international bankers can prevent poor countries from thriving by charging them high interest rates and not giving them enough funds to invest in economic development projects. One of the purposes for preventing poorer countries from rising above poverty is that it makes it easier for the dark magicians to exploit the poor countries of their wealth and natural resources. By doing this, they can give some of the wealth to the rich countries, allowing them to trick people of the rich countries to think that they are better than the people of the poor countries. In reality, most people living in rich countries are delusional for the reason that they are so brainwashed that they can barely think for themselves. That's absolutely true. People living in developed countries often like to invest in the stock market. What they do not realize is that the stock market is a system that does not flow well with the laws of nature. Every time people participate in the stock market, they unknowingly support the evil deed of selling human souls, because the word sold sounds so similar to sold, SOULED and SOLD. At the deeper level of the stock market is the commerce system that sells or trades our energy, our soul energy, which is why it is called a stock market. Many of the stocks in the stock market do not really represent the shares of corporations. Instead, they are linked to the artificial persons of the living men. The main reason why corporate stocks have value is because they are linked to human beings. In other words, we are the livestock or the living stock that are sold, SOULED, in the stock market by traders or traders of humanity. The word stock is defined as a quantity of something accumulated as for future use. As for the word livestock, it is defined as the horses, cattle, sheep, and other useful animals kept or raised on a farm or a ranch. The dark magicians consider us human beings as sheep, which is why Christians are called sheep. We are the sheeple living on a farm called Earth, which is a prison planet for domesticating human beings to be good little slaves. To be more specific, we are the baby raised on a farm to produce honey or golden blood plasma for the dark forces so that they can use it to extend their lifespan. In certain ways, most human beings are not that much different from horses, cattle, and sheep because they have been domesticated by the dark magicians of the New World Order to obey their authorities in government. This is why when you talk to people about the New World Order and government conspiracy, most of them look at you like you are crazy. Some of them may even physically attack you for telling them the truth. What a bunch of sheeple and domesticated animals. The sheeple are so brainwashed they cannot see that they are being domesticated to behave like sheep and sold on the stock market. To make matters worse, their soul energy is being stocked in the stock market to be sucked out later by the demons or energy vampires of the dark forces. This is why one of the definitions of the word stock is a quantity of something accumulated as for future use. Ow, my arm's going to sleep right there. One of the origins of the word stock is derived from the old French word stock, meaning stump, post, stake, tree trunk, or log. The word trunk originated from the old French word tronc, meaning trunk of a tree. Trunk of the human body, wooden block. In English, one of the definitions of the word trunk is the body of a person or an animal, excluding the head and limbs, torso. It can also mean the main channel or artery or line in a river, railway or highway, canal, or other tributary system. The occult definitions of the previous paragraph reveal the relationship among the stock market, the human body, and water. In other words, your body is being sold on the stock market for currency, the currency that represents your time and energy. Do you remember what I said in chapter 3 about how the birth certificate bond is a financial contract created to enslave your body and soul so that they can use you as collateral for the debt of the government? I also told you that your birth certificate is being traded on the stock market because it is a bond, which is why your birth information is recorded on bond paper, the paper used to create the birth certificate. In other words, your birth certificate is a registered security or a stock certificate. Do you now understand why human beings are the livestock or living stock of the stock market? When you sell or trade stocks, what you are really doing is selling other people's soul energy, and therefore are treating people like slaves in the religious game of death known as commerce. Be aware that I am not saying you should not trade goods and services with other people. What I'm saying is that you should avoid using the debt-based monetary system, the stock market, and other vampiric financial systems to trade energy. These vampiric systems were created for the purpose of destroying nature and enslaving souls to be used as batteries. Commerce is not the same as the process of living people trading goods and services. Commerce deals with the charging of the dead, whereas the living people trade goods and services. They are mutually exchanging their energy with one another. When two people mutually exchange goods and services, there is no vampiric system to steal their living energy.
Yeah.
Another
I thought so. I thought so. He mentioned as well about the human resources, but he didn't. That's important as well. For in each company, you have like a department of human resources.
Yeah, I
because
think
we are
you
not men or
mentioned that
women.
back in like chapter 3.
Ah, okay. I didn't say it. Grand. Cheers.
Yeah, he went into that in chapter 3. Another popular vampiric system that is part of the commerce system is the mortgage industry. A mortgage is one of the most parasitic debts you can get from a bank. To comprehend how parasitic and vampiric a mortgage is, you need to dig deep into the hidden layers of the word mortgage so that you can find its occult meaning. The overt definition of the word mortgage is a conveyance of an interest in property or security for the repayment of money borrowed. Another definition of the word mortgage is the charging of a legal or personal property by a debtor to a creditor as security for a debt, especially one incurred by the purchase of the property, on the condition that it shall be returned on payment of the debt within a certain period. The two definitions of the word mortgage in the previous paragraph only defined mortgage at the surface level. To find its deeper meanings, you need to use an etymology dictionary to find the origins of the word mortgage and split it into two words so that it transforms into the term mortgage. The word mortgage or mortgage originated from the Old French words which are mort and gage. Wow, that's right. In Old French, mort means dead and gage means pledge. The word pledge is derived from the Old French word plaisir.
Pledge or gag as well. So or news on your neck. It depends of the sentence. But yes, he's correct.
I don't know where I was at. Plaisir meaning to promise or to solemnly promise or guarantee. One of the modern definitions of the word pledge is a solemn promise or agreement to do or refrain from doing something. To connect the dots, when you take out a mortgage, you unknowingly make a pledge or a promise to the debt. This is the general occult definition of the word mortgage. So, what is the dead? The dead represents the dark forces, groups of demons, and their corporations. The word corporation has a strong connection to the dead because its deeper meaning is a dead body. The word corporation can also be written as corp. Phonetically, the root word corp sounds similar to the word corpse, which is defined as a dead body, usually of a human being. You still need more evidence? According to Black's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, a corporation is, quote, an artificial person or legal entity created by or under the authority of the laws of the state, unquote. An artificial person is considered a dead entity because it does not exist in the real world. The word mortgage also has a strong connection to the words morgue and mortuary. This is why the place where the dead bodies are stored is called a morgue. Mortgages are created in a way that make them hard to pay off so that the people who sign a mortgage, a pledge to the dead, contract to have to work most of their lives to pay it off. This allows the debt-based monetary system to drain their energy and use it to charge the dead with currency. The currency that people make from many hours of working at a corporation or a dead body. Do you remember what I said earlier about why the currency is a medium for exchanging or transferring life force energy? I'm not sure how far this goes on. Let me see real quick. This is a lot. Jesus Christ, been going 2 hours here now.
Yeah, it's a good knowledge. It's like you said, word spells. Yeah, that's why I always say words have freaking meaning.
Yeah.
We have to learn real definitions and real meaning of the words because we don't understand. Not even speaking, excuse me, I'm not even speaking about comprehension because comprehension and understanding are two different things. People use it as the same. It's not.
Man. Where was I at? Here we are. So we'll come
I
back.
shouldn't be even talking about this shit because I'm not even native English speaker, you know? I should know about this crap.
Right? So they tricked the creator into thinking we are dead. No, they tricked you into thinking you are dead. You'll even refer to yourself as a person. And not even know what it means, really. See, that's
Do you have anything on your person?
Person is a dead entity, which is not man or woman. Person is part of a corporation, which is fictitious entity created with a birth certificate.
Yep. Well, next time we'll hit up in chapter 6 and get into some more shit on that one.
I threw a funny joke thing on the side. It says vintage laughs from 1983. It's a funny joke. Buddy Hackett. I saw it today. It was pretty good.
Vintage joke from 1983. Hang on, let me put this over onto my other side over here so I can see it.
You can always throw a joke. I know thousands of jokes, literally thousands.
Oh, that's not what I need. I need this thing. That's what I needed, this thing.
Talking to a Chinese doctor. So he says to him, I never thought we would get along like this. The Chinese doctor said, well, why not? He said, well, you know, Pearl Harbor. What's Pearl Harbor? I'm Chinese, not Japanese. Well, all you Orientals are like, well, the Jews sink the Titanic. Jews sank the Titanic? He says, yeah, sure. Greenberg, Goldberg, Iceberg, all the same to me.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's double meaning as well, you know. So
you know what's weird? I read that joke here just a few days ago, and then now I hear this one. It's like
really?
Oh yeah, that's really crazy. You get a lot of shit. I got a pretty cool thing from our good friends at Jake TV.
A new one.
Oh yeah, this guy is totally anti-Jews, so-called Jews.
Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious. This one's a long one. This one's a good long one too.
He's on point, and the jokes are really good, really awesome, and really thought through.
What is?
Good morning. We have a fresh update on the Epstein-Kirk case.
Yeah, and TPUSA is absolutely covering up his murder.
Right. Thank God for Candace.
Straight up.
Tammy, take it away.
Chloe and Michael, good morning. We're here with producer Berg, and he is not happy about this episode, but we're going to have Candace on anyway.
We fired her for being antiseptic. Shut it down.
Do you want to know who was also asking a lot of questions? Charlie Kirk was asking a lot of questions towards the end of his life, right? He was asking questions, hitting hard about Jeffrey Epstein on his show.
Epstein with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who was obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies, that there was something else going on here.
Shut it down! Jeffrey was a member of God's chosen people, and you're not allowed to ask questions about his ties to Israeli intelligence on my show. Shapiro Steen, explain to the Goyim.
Thanks, fellow chosen person. Just because he was heavily funded by Zionists doesn't mean we hired Mossad to execute a JFK-level assassination on Charlie, leader of the free world. Take it away.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
I was done with MAGA at the moment he looked us in the face and he said, what files, right? What are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, who's still talking about Epstein, right, Ching Chong?
You're literally retarded. Candace, back to you.
You guys still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? We're now getting these emails, and it only further implicates this administration in an astounding cover-up. All of this, again, the truest victims being the children. We are a nation that is ruled by perverts. We are. We just are.
Bunch of perverts.
That's absolutely based, Candace. I think Charlie was saying something about this.
Roll the clip.
It's nothing new that if you're in the intel agencies, you want to try and get as much blackmail on powerful people as possible. Easy, not hard. And this is no longer just speculation.
Shut it down! Fine, we may have blackmailed J. Edgar Hoover, the director of the FBI, to send weapons to Israel since before 1948, but that's none of your business.
Gosh, Charlie knew what he was talking about. Let's hear the official narrative from our government sources, the people who we love and trust so much.
What are you going to do about the Zionist blackmail?
I don't even know what Jeffrey Epstein means. Is that a noun or a verb? It was Tyler Robinson.
Israel.
That's anti-Semitic.
Trump's in the files, and Michael Obama is a dude.
Bergstein, go ahead.
Hambana, why are you letting people like Candace question her friend's assassination? Anti-Semites are starting to blame the Jews and we're victims. Oy vey.
We fabricated the furry trans lover. That person disappeared. We tried to force a confession. That didn't work either. So we're looking absolutely retarded, I know.
Straight up, like, didn't they run for office on the basis of exposing that?
Oh, yeah, QAnon.
I guess converting to Judaism and covering up Israeli trafficking rings is more important.
Right. But Israel is still our greatest ally.
Whatever you say, Daisy.
All right, John, stay focused. Just because Shapiro-Stein hired an OnlyFans model doesn't mean you should throw out your values. But at least we're not like the Christian Zionists at TPUSA, whose suspicious takeover of Charlie's company gives us the creeps.
Thanks, Ching Chong. Yeah, so Charlie's pastor, whose dad is a naval captain and assistant chief of staff for psychological warfare in the Navy, is the one trying to get his son to take over Charlie's spot, and I'm just not retarded enough to buy that.
If you don't, support Turning Point Faith, especially given this terrible thing that they're going through, these were his real friends, and there's something wrong with you. You're not godly, right? It's godly to accept the Fed narrative.
Now you're starting to get it. Just because you're the #1 podcast and nobody listens to me doesn't mean I can't gatekeep what people should or shouldn't say. I'd fire you again if I could. Back to you, stupid Goyim, and up yours, Candace.
Wow, thanks for that, Shapiro-Stein. And in other news, I'm still waiting on that raise from producer Berg.
You have been a good goyim lately.
Right?
Let's learn more about Daddy McCoy.
Now let's bring in Daddy McCoy. Wouldn't say he strikes me as something else entirely. And he similarly had some rather impeccable timing. Rob McCoy, as you very well know, was the senior pastor of the Godspeak Calvary Chapel in Thousand Oaks, California. His church was funded by the Wilkes brothers down in Texas. They are a part of what is described online as a cult. It's like Christians for Jews. You look into it yourself. I honestly can't explain it, but that's just something that you should know in the background.
Thanks, Candace. The guy seems sketchy. I agree.
Yeah, didn't he employ a known predator who lured children in by pretending he lost a cat?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Watch him rationalize it.
Yeah.
But how long ago was this?
Like 28 years. 28 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
28 years ago. All right, go ahead.
Can we put this to rest, ladies and gentlemen? Can we put it to rest? Erica Kirk said that she believed they have a great team in Kesh Patel and the FBI.
And I'll see you in Valhalla.
She believed that Tyler Robinson killed her husband. And at his memorial service, she said she forgive him. Can you shut the front door about all these conspiracies around Charlie Kirk's death?
Absolutely not, Tatum.
Yeah, we're not buying your Hasbara propaganda.
Get out of here, Talmud Tatum.
Yeah, we're trying to listen to a real-ass
Candace, take it away.
So he's upset, and he goes on to talk about how people online who don't know the full story are digging stuff up, and like, this guy's really a good guy. And I'm going to have Camino actually explain what really happened that put him into prison. Let me know if you're buying this story that he's about to tell. Take a listen.
So this is like early 90s, a nice little beach community in Orange County. And I get accused of a crime that I did not commit. It's a falsely accused. It's an underage girl thing.
Prosecutor said he approached young girls, lured them into secluded spots, such as a riverbed and the basement of a house, by asking them to find his cat.
They bring this girl and they film an interview. And it's this interview where the kid doesn't care what she's saying. She's not upset. She thinks she's waiting for her mom in a dentist office. Eventually, they get her to say that there was some inappropriate touching on that.
Bro molested children and denies it.
Where's a millstone when you need one?
Back to you, Candace.
Camino grabbed the girl's hand and forced her to touch him. We're talking about third graders, not toddlers whose memories might be iffy, who might have difficulty communicating things, might not find the right words, might not be sure of themselves. but 8-year-olds who are fully online mentally.
This whole thing is a total sham.
They say they have footprints and forensic evidence, and they have 17 specific items that they're looking for. They get 11 of them. So I did 1,536 days for a crime that I didn't commit.
They found 11 out of 17 items related to the investigation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like total accident. What a creep.
Yeah, lock him up again for lying. What an insult to all the minors he lured into basements to touch, right?
I'd like to lure him into a basement, if you know what I mean.
Maybe if you stopped eating goy slop and could say Christ is king, I'd believe you.
But tolerance is strength. Introducing the all-new Goy Slop Junior Filet. Die of diabetes.
I hate myself.
Goy Slop Junior.
Because tolerance is strength.
So it's just all one big conspiracy that involved 2 counties, neighborhoods filled with parents and children. A witness who still to this day remembers and emailed me to remind me about this, people who posted and said this is absurd and brought it forward into Rob's church and said it's absurd that you are allowing him to be around youth despite his record. Also his ex-wife and the appellate court.
Shut it down, Candace. Pedophilia is not pertinent to the discussion. Now, back to blaming Christians. It has nothing to do with us. You just hate Jews.
The CIA implications of who exactly started the Calvary Chapel, Chuck Smith is his name. The implications here, when you look at all of the military characters that are involved, really have me asking a lot of questions.
Nobody asks questions without us shutting it down. Do you want to end up like JFK, Jackie, or your good friend Charlie Kirkberg, the Jew lover?
That's right, Producer Berg. How about we mass strike her YouTube account and smear her on the ADL? That'll teach her not to question things. And by the way, I despise all of you people.
Isn't that cute? Shapiro-Stein believes the FBI and CIA narrative. Remind me again, what are your sources?
My sources are the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, Dan Bongino, the Deputy Head of the FBI, and Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. And those aren't just my sources. They're everybody's sources because they publicly came out and said this.
Wow. Poor guy is like really retarded.
That's based. Ching chong.
Okay, now let's get back to talking about Mikey, also known as the Chief of Staff, or Rob, the lying pastor's son.
And my husband's Chief of Staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy.
My friend Mikey McCoy, the brilliant 24-year-old who at the time when Charlie was shot was 23 and was a hero that day.
I used to be known as Charlie Kirk's pastor, now I'm known as Mikey McCoy's dad.
The minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, "Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray." I said, "Okay, son." He has wits about him. He was just directing. He had blood all over him. And
there's the first lie.
Yeah, he literally dipped off mid-phone call and won't give out his call logs.
What a coward.
Except Mikey did not have blood anywhere near him because Mikey was behind the tent when Charlie got shot.
I want to address something. The stupidity of the internet. Oh, signals? Really? You're going to put that garbage out that they were giving hand signals?
I don't know, man. It kind of looked like hand signals.
Real.
I guess we're the crazy ones.
That was Frank Turek. He was covered in blood because he was giving Charlie CPR.
And false.
Looks like lie number 2.
Literally nobody followed protocol on addressing a gun wound. Nobody. Let's see what the normies think of Mikey fleeing his buddy after he got assassinated in public.
And then you see more and more that they're taking the body and bringing it into the van, and he's all the way over there on the phone.
It was Charlie's dream to always go to Asia, and Blake and I got the gift of being able to tag along for that. And so I brought the camera with me. I've never traveled with a camera before, but I decided, it'd be a good idea to mic Charlie up, do some content with him while we're there. And
don't see this intrinsic evil when I look at Mikey McCoy's eyes. But, however, I do think he was hyped. Okay. I think Mikey was promised or told or encouraged that he would become the new Charlie. And it is a fact that was the number one sentiment that we received from our Turning Point USA insiders following Charlie's assassination.
Shut it down, Candace. If you don't get the heck off my show, you're getting the Jackie treatments. I'm this close. You really want to test me?
So cranky.
Jeez, okay, producer Berg says we got to shut it down or I'm not getting that raise.
Ah, come on. We didn't even get to the Boyers or Andrew Colvett yet.
That's so antiseptic. Stop mentioning Israel.
When did you become such a pussy?
You're right.
What's up?
I think I might have unfollowed Jake GTV because I feel absolutely retarded.
I love
Pretty
all
spot
all
on.
the time he says ching chong.
I know. I
And
know.
it brings in my memory a joke. Do you know why the people from China are yellow? Because they
No.
piss against the wind.
That's bad.
There is no, there is no joke for me. I cannot use against anyone. Polish as well. I don't mind.
Yes, this guy put this tweet out here. It says Tucker is evil, Fuentes is evil, Candace is evil. See, not that hard.
Yeah,
it's a shame that 99% of our conservative leadership lacks the guts to say the same thing. Well, you can say anything you want to. Why? Why do you feel that they are evil? What? What have they done that you would consider evil?
They're controlled. That's the evil thing.
Well, no, they're because they're not going along with the fucking story. That's what they're making it appear. This guy.
So that's only how it looks like, because you have to look in the roots.
I understand that. This is a guy on Twitter asking the question. Okay, so he's a
right.
Matrix guy. He's a Matrix guy. Okay, so he said, not me. Tucker is evil. Fuentes is evil. Candace is evil. They're all characters on a stage. Okay,
100%.
But this guy, he's like, oh, we have to get everybody out there saying that they're evil. Well, here's what would be the question appropriate. Well, you've not explained really why you feel that they're evil. Maybe that would be a good thing. And maybe when you list that out, you'll see how fucking stupid it sounds. You see? That's the thing that they got to understand. They got to understand. They don't know how fucking stupid that actually sounds.
Solved one more quarter, said he got a Polish coffee cup and the handle's on the inside.
When you have two Polish guys, you have three opinions.
There was these two Polish guys. They come into some money and said, "What should we do?" He says, I've always wanted to have a horse." And he says, "We can afford to have a horse now. We can board them and we can go ride them and stuff anytime we want." He says, "Hey, that's a great idea." So they went down to this place. They bought these horses, and they were riding them there at the little ranch. And one says to the other, says, "Man," he said, "I just thought of something. How the hell are we going to tell these horses apart?" He says, "Man, that's a good question." He said, "I'll tell you what I'll do." He said, "I'll cut the mane on mine a little short, and then that way we'll know the one with the short mane's mine and one with the longer mane's yours." He says, "Hey, that's a great idea. That's perfect." Well, after a few months, the horse's mane grew back. He said, "Oh, that ain't going to work because it's going to keep growing back. How are we going to tell?" He said, "I don't know. We'll think about it." And it was riding along. And one day, one horse got a little nick on his ear, a little scratch. And he says, "There you go." He says, "Well, just yours is the one with the scratch on his ear." He says, "That's a great way. We can tell that way." Well, there again, just like with the tail or with the mane, over time, the ear healed up. And there was no more scratch on her. He says, "Man," he says, "I don't know what we're going to do, how we're going to tell our horses apart from one another." And he sat there and thinking. And finally one of them piped up and says, "I know, I've got it." He says, "We'll just remember that the white horse is yours and the black one's mine."
Yep, I know this one.
There's Rabbi Shmuley. God, I hate that man.
There was a joke, at the two Polish guys, they fucking stole the truck full of vodka, but later police get a whiff of them, caught them. "Where's alcohol?" "We sold." "What did you do with the money?" "We bought alcohol."
Here's Andy backstage. Hi, Andy. How are you doing? Can you wave at me? Can you wave at me, Andy? I can see you backstage. Can you wave your hand at me? Can you wave your hand at me, Andy? Yeah, he's one of those porn bombs.
Yep.
That's what he is. He's talking right now, not listening to anything I said. He's backstage, and I've told him to hold up his right hand and show me 4 fingers, Andy. 4 fingers. 4 fingers in the camera. You see what the camera is? 4 fingers. 4 fingers on your right hand.
Or left if you have problems. Doesn't
There
matter.
you go. All right, wait a second. We'll bring him up here for a sec.
Yeah. Oh, there we are. What's up, Soft?
What's
normal
happening,
guy
buddy?
then, Grant.
What's up, Cuddy Bear?
Cubby's not here tonight.
Oh shit. God damn.
So what's on
Hey,
your mind?
Soft.
What's on your mind tonight, Andy?
Ah, fuck. Everything. There's a lot of things on my mind tonight.
Fill us
There's a
in.
lot of things that I think that like your channel miss. And here to kind of ask some questions and maybe point some things right. I've been listening to you since you got on this channel. I listened to your brother or your boy, not your brother, your boy. And he's a great inspiration to this world. I gotta say. And so are you.
Great knowledge.
A very great inspiration to this world. And what goes on behind the scenes. And so I just want everybody like kind of hear what I have to say.
Right.
And I don't want to like interrupt your channel. I want you to keep going where you're going, but there's a lot of things that I think that we need to look into that really explain the reason why we're here.
Okay.
And that would be the explain to the trees that were cut down and the big flood and a lot of the things that like, dude, there's a lot of demons here. There's a lot of demons that run this fucking planet.
You know,
There's
those
a lot of
demons,
fallen angels that run this planet.
you know, one of the
And I
main
think
ways.
that there is a significant evidence that they are here. And I think that, you know, maybe like we want to like look into them a little bit more deeper, you know, not just the
you know,
flat earth.
Andy,
You know,
one of the first ways
I watched
I said one of the best ways to study them is probably not by ingesting them. Now I got an echo. I have an echo coming from you.
Oh, let me turn. Oh shit! God damn it!
You're still there.
Oh, I'm still here. Let me turn on my stereo. That's why.
There you go.
Yeah. Let me turn on my stereo. Dude, this is the first time I've ever been on. I've watched you and your son for years.
Have you ever heard what I told
you
people
guys
about
are.
alcohol? Have you ever paid much attention to what I say about alcohol?
I do. Yeah. Sorry, Sob.
Well, that's.
I
I mean,
do.
you. It seems that you must be wanting to study.
Okay. So hold on.
By being one.
Well, I am studying the demon.
By
no, I'm studying the demon by ingesting alcohol and meeting him. And I've met with him. And yeah, that's a big part of my life that I have to solve myself. But I'm not here to destroy your channel.
Right. I understand.
Yeah, I'm not here to do that.
I would suggest though.
But a lot of people
get yourself free of that, because if you don't get yourself free of that, it's going to run you right into the ground. I guarantee.
But that's what I'm here to talk about. Is that the demons are here, and they come with the bottle, but it's not the bottle that they come with. they come with a lot of other things.
Like
And
what?
yeah, well, there's a lot of
Yeah,
other
but the
things
question
that they
is,
come with.
if you know about demons and you know how they
Yeah.
come, why do you
Yeah.
open yourself to them?
Yeah, well, they're
Shouldn't you
open
close
with
the
the
door?
bottle.
Wouldn't be that proper way to go? Close the
Yeah.
door so them to
Yeah.
be able to pass through.
Yeah.
You're opening
Yeah.
yourself to them.
The
Yeah.
bottle opens a lot of doors. I get that. It opens a lot of doors for them to come in.
And closes twice as many to the secular world. Because
Yeah.
here's what happens: people don't want you around,
Yeah.
right? You start
Mhm.
getting in trouble. You end
Yeah.
up broke because you don't end up you lose
Well,
your.
I don't end up broke. They really pat my pocket. Like
Well,
I really
no,
don't
no.
end
What
up
I'm talking
broke.
about is
Like
when
if you have a demon in your
eventual,
pocket,
the
he doesn't really make
eventual,
you broke because he wants to keep on drinking.
the eventual job loss.
So
those things that come along with it.
yeah,
The alienation of your fellow
I get that.
man at the
I get
expense
that.
of imbibing the demon
Yeah.
seed. That's not any way to go by it,
Your
man.
health's going to go at some point.
Well, yeah, my
Flesh,
health's
the
going.
flesh-eating ghoul.
Yeah.
Ghoul.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that.
Mhm.
I believe that, but I can't smoke marijuana. Like I'm like highly allergic to it.
Mm.
Um,
Why not just not use anything?
yeah, hey, Uncle Seb, you probably fucking smoked some of my marijuana I grew. Like, yeah, shipped it all over the fucking world. Like,
No.
yeah, I was a big marijuana grower back in the world. A big marijuana grower back in the world. So, I know all about the marijuana. Dude, you probably smoked some of my stuff.
Probably not.
Yeah, you probably did. Yeah, it's been shipped everywhere and it's been shipped right to your house. So, yeah, it's hard to say that yeah, I did a lot of business with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was one broker for fucking hundreds of thousands of fucking marijuana sellers.
All right, but how did you end up
Right.
allergic to it?
But I had a garden shop, and every person that came in my shop wanted to smoke a joint. Yeah, dude, I smoked hundreds.
Awesome.
Hundreds.
Awesome.
I'm
All
talking
right,
about, dude,
dude, you're getting like
every
way down the fucking rabbit hole, way down off the trail.
yeah, but I'm talking about like hundreds.
I don't know. So what? Here's the
Like
thing.
every customer that came in was like, "Hey, try my new shit. Try my new shit. Try my new shit."
Right, right.
I became
Andy,
allergic to the shit.
Andy. Okay, so you became allergic to
Yeah.
the shit.
Yeah,
So
I can't even touch
well,
the
you're
shit.
obviously allergic to alcohol as well.
Well, I am.
Yeah.
And
So why would you go choose another thing that you're obviously allergic to?
well, that's what I'm having trouble with because I have some demons that are rocking with me, and I'm reaching out for help.
Right.
Well,
the
and
first thing is, do you have any
know,
alcohol? Do you have any access to alcohol right now in your home?
well, it's everywhere.
No, do you have liquor in your home? Beer or liquor in your home right
Dude,
now?
I live like fucking 10 minutes away from the liquor
I
store.
didn't ask you where you live. Did you understand the question?
Well, yeah, I do.
Okay. So you do. So go dump it in the drain.
Yes.
Go dump it down the drain. If you're serious, go dump it down the drain right now. Show it on camera too.
Ah, fuck. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah, go.
I'm serious.
No,
Full
if you're
fucking
serious,
goddamn fucking fist of fucking shit down the fucking drain.
there you go.
Right there. That's how serious I'm getting it clean.
That's a great choice.
Fuck it.
There you go.
Fuck. There it is. There went the fucking fifth.
And don't buy new one. Stop drinking.
Yeah.
No.
Don't get enough.
No, I got an access out of here. And yeah, quit my job today, which was a really good job. I'm a welder.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay, that's how serious I am. I dumped it down the drain for fucking hundreds of fucking people that are watching the fucking site. I dumped it down the fucking drain.
In front of 190 people altogether.
Yeah, 190 fucking people, and hope that fucking grows. Because that motherfucker just threw fucking half a fucking, or yeah, a whole fifth down the fucking shitter. I
Look
just
now,
bought it.
now, just for the thing of it, just do you
I
feel
just
that?
bought it.
Do you feel the distress that took place when you first did that?
No.
It was like oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this.
No.
Good.
I've been wanting.
Here's the thing too. You
I've
need,
been wanting this, Sovereign. Dude. I've been wanting this for a long time. I lost my wife last week because of this shit. Yeah, it's been a long fucking road, man. Like, and I believe in everything that you guys fucking say. I watch you all the time. And
don't believe. No, just no. No.
I know. I know. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. I know what the government's doing, and I know what the fucking shit's going on. And it's not fucking retardation, and it's
But
dude, it's
remember,
just,
there's
dude,
one thing.
it's
You
straight
say,
up having fucking God.
Andy,
Yes.
listen.
Yes.
Great that you know,
Listen.
but remember, it's very important. Please remember that knowledge is nothing if you do not act on it. So acting was good. It's one step.
Right. Yeah.
You put it to the drain.
Yeah.
Now
Fuck that
you
bottle.
have to stop buying this stuff. Don't
Yeah,
buy it.
fuck
Don't
that.
drink it. Don't
Yeah.
drink it.
Yeah, no, fuck that fucking bottle. Yeah, you know what? I threw it in the fucking garbage for me, for you guys. I want to join. I want to be a part of the fucking show, and I want to come on, and I want to, give my point of view. I know that being drunk is not something that a lot of people recognize and fucking, they don't respect. And I want to be respected and have my point of view because I have a lot of things to
Andy,
say
to achieve
about.
respect, Andy, listen. To
Yeah.
achieve respect from people, first you have to respect yourself.
Right. And that's what I just did. So fuck that fucking bottle. I'm gonna go get help. I'm gonna get into AA and I'm gonna post my shit.
Well,
so you guys see that I'm getting help. And
you have a smartphone?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. What I want you to do is go into Google.
Yeah.
And now here's the thing too, and pray. Get in touch with
Yeah.
God. But I want
Yes,
you to
sir.
find, and they're all the time. Are you near a city?
Yeah.
Are you like near a city?
Well, I'll be moving back into Roseburg, so Oregon.
So what you want to do is you want to look for AA meetings.
Yep, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, Sob.
Don't go drunk.
No, I'm not. No, I'm
Don't
not
go
gonna. Hey, you guys really changed my life tonight. I think I'm gonna really I've never done this before in my life. Get out here and try to make a person of myself.
Yeah.
But I really want to try. I've been hidden my whole life. I'm super intelligent fucking person. It makes
A lot of alcoholics are. A lot of
Yeah.
alcoholics are.
Yeah. No, Sob.
You gotta
dude.
stop interrupting me, okay?
All right. Okay. That's
so. A lot of alcoholics are intelligent. A lot of alcoholics are very empathic people as well.
Yep. Yeah.
And they tend to have more of a sixth sense on emotions and situations and shit. It's kind of a bit for us to handle. I don't know why that tends to be a common characteristic, but it is. And I do think it's connected. I think that's why the demons attack us. I think that's why the demons want to get possession.
No, I got one. Hold
now
on.
Look, you once.
Okay.
Sorry. You start going.
Sorry.
You've heard the term one day at a time. Take it 1 hour at a time. When you go oh man, I don't think I want to get a drink. Hell, you've procrastinated so many other things. Why not go ahead and procrastinate that one? You keep telling yourself, you know what? If I feel this way tomorrow, then I will. And then tomorrow you say, damn, I feel like getting a drink, you know? And I say, you know what? If I feel this way tomorrow, then I will. Keep putting it off. But the thing is it's going to take about 2 weeks. I mean, you'll be sober tomorrow, but it'll take about 2 weeks, maybe a little longer, depending on how long you've been and often you've been drinking before that shit is really out of your system.
Yeah.
And so the real crucial time is going to be within that next 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's a
If
lot
you
of people
can,
out here,
you just said you don't
struggling.
have a job. You don't have a job now because you quit it.
Well, no, I'm going back to school. So my mother and father-in-law gave me an opportunity to like, hey, come here. You're gonna go back to school. I'm gonna get my degrees, and I'm gonna like I already make really good money. I'm a welder. I weld fucking homes that go all over the fucking world. But yeah, I weld chassis for a manufactured home company, and they go all over the world. We make 160 homes every fucking month. That's a lot of fucking chassis we fucking weld. I spend 10 hours a day fucking in a fucking hood welding for a company that doesn't respect the fact that they closed the fucking shop down and the whole fucking shop is full of carbon monoxide. And I'm going to let the fucking world know that this is what this company does. Like, you cannot breathe in there. And you can't. And then when the fucking, like, you go to fucking ask, because I wear a respirator all day, a backpack respirator. They're like, yeah, you got 30 days on that thing. Within 10 days, that motherfucker's so clogged up, dude, you can't even fucking breathe. Yep. And the world needs
you know what?
the world needs to know.
Andy,
The world,
Andy, I don't care about it.
yeah, I know. I know you don't care, but the world needs to know. Like, that's just not okay.
Listen.
It's not okay. It's not okay to work in an environment like that. I had to walk away.
I know. And so is that what made you get drunk?
Andy, can I jump in real quick?
No, I've had this. So my family deals with this. We have a significant. My uncle is the same way. My mom is the same way. It somehow.
It does tend to go in
Kinda,
it does go in bloodlines. I agree with
yeah,
that.
yeah, no,
However,
it does. And my whole
Andy,
yes,
it's time to
that's
break a
not the
curse.
reason. That's not the reason.
Well, I had significant, like, some trauma in my life.
That's
when
not
I
the
was a
reason.
kid.
That's
When
not
I
the
was a
reason.
kid.
That's a good excuse, but that's not the reason.
I don't know. I
You
don't know
do
what the
know.
reason is.
Andy, can I
The
jump in
only
real quick,
reason-
please?
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Let me finish with this real quick, and then you can go. Okay. Here's the real reason. Here's why you got drunk. It isn't because you have a bad life. It's not because of nothing at your work. It's not because your wife was mean to you. It's not because you missed shit from your past. The real reason that you got drunk tonight was because you wanted to get drunk. That's the whole reason. Now you
What
can
if-
look
what if
for
he- what if-
whatever
what if-
excuse. Wait a second. You can look for whatever excuse you want to, and a
I
lot of
know.
people like to say it was a problem that they were having. Let me ask you something.
What if
The
you have a
amount of
demon?
alcohol that you have drank?
What if you have a demon, though? What if you have a
You
demon?
just drank a bunch of demons. You
I-
just
I-
drank a bunch of damn demons.
I
What do you
know, but what if
have
what if?
demons?
Hold on, Sauce. What if
Andy,
the,
that's why it's called spirits.
I know, but what if the demon's really real?
They are.
Yeah. Okay. So
That
he's
what you've been
there.
doing all this time, thinking they're not real.
No, they're real. I know they're real. I talk. It's like I've met with the motherfucker.
So you know a lot of stuff.
I've danced with
I
the
know. I
motherfucker.
understand.
So it's time to rebuke them in the name of Christ.
Yeah.
You rebuke them. You have power over them.
Let
in the name
Greg
of
tell
Christ.
you something. Let Greg tell you something. and
real.
I'm also going to give you some really great advice too.
All right.
Best thing to do when you're in your situation.
Yeah.
is listen.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I'm
Listen, there's
listening.
nothing coming out of you right now that I have not heard 1,000 times. Okay.
I'm listening,
All
Saw.
right. So, Greg, go ahead, buddy.
I showed up to Soft Show 2 years ago this month. It was in November 2 years ago. And I finally felt like, oh, there's something I can get into because like I've had these same questions and I have a ton of questions. I still do. I still question Sav and I love him, but I have plenty of doubts and questions, whatever. And then I went through a divorce. I was married for 15 years.
Well, that's about right
got
where I'm going.
divorced, had kids and stuff, and then I got into a rut of drinking. And I showed up to Saw's show drunk one night, and I kept on slamming shooters while he was doing his show. And I was like, I watched the next day, and I was embarrassed, and I knew I needed accountability. I needed a friend. I needed to have a victory over myself.
Yeah.
I need to do that. No, for me, that was my faith, and I needed a friend. And through the show, I actually made a friend, and she helped a lot. And I no longer do that, but I don't. You need to have a victory over yourself.
You don't necessarily like feel alone. You have a crew that's backing you, and
Yes.
I get that. I 100% get that we have a crew, and that's why I'm joining the show, because I want to quit this shit. I want to get better, and I need some friends. Dude, I'm 100% out here alone.
You know what, Andy?
Yeah.
Where are you
made a very
in the
good
world?
point.
Yeah.
Where are you about? Where are you?
Listen.
Oregon.
Greg made very good point. He
Oregon.
watched the next day.
I'm out here.
His video, his appearance. So I think.
Can I just jump in 1 minute? 1
All right,
second.
we got I got way too many people talking at one time. Remember what I said about listening, Andy?
Yep.
Take that cotton out of your ears, put it in your mouth.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Tell you
I got it.
Help you.
Yep.
Hey, listen, I don't treat this with kid gloves. I'm serious about this fucking shit. I don't play about it. You know, I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you straight up, and I might hurt your feelings, but I don't care.
I don't really give a shit. Just tell me how it is and tell me what I need to do, and fucking I just want to have some friends out there, and I want to get better.
All right.
And I thought that I listened to your show all the time. You're a great man.
Let's do it like this then, Andy.
Your son's good.
We've taken the first step. You've taken the first step, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you need to first off and right now really get to grips with this? Okay.
Oh, I'm getting to grips.
Listen.
Sorry for the air, guys.
It's a yes or no.
It's been a rough fucking show.
Here's a yes or no question for you, Andy.
Yeah.
Is your life unmanageable right now?
Not really. It's pretty manageable. I got everything fucking handled. But
you're obviously powerless, completely powerless over alcohol.
Dude, I spent the last fucking week just fucking fifth every day.
You just told me that you lost your wife recently.
Yeah.
Right? You're having problems with work. You're having problems with work.
Yeah,
those
we're trying
kind
to
of
get
like
back together.
Those are unmanageable things.
Yeah.
And alcohol, you've already indicated, was directly or indirectly involved with these problems, right? So you have taken the first step right now. That first step involves also sobering up. So what I'm going to do is I'm either going to mute you or put you back because you're kind of like giving us drunkalogs and everything like that.
I don't want to give you drunkalogs.
It's not a slam against you. It's just that's what drunk people do. Okay.
Yeah, I want to do
and
that.
you will sober up in the morning. Okay.
I don't want to do that. I just want to I just want to reach out and ask some questions.
Right.
We're here for you, dude.
So here's the thing: you sober up, and then first thing I want you to do tomorrow, if you're not working, And
Yeah.
even if you are, is I want you to do it when you after you get off of this stream. Google where the nearest Alcoholics
Well, I'm
Anonymous.
going. I am. I'm going to this week. The nearest Alcohol Anonymous. Yeah, I'll be in the program this next week. So.
Well, it's a thing, and you have to be doing.
And I'm
it
sorry everybody had to meet me this way, but dude, I'm a really good fucking person, and yeah, I got a lot of questions to ask, and
well, I'd be better.
Yeah,
Come
and
back and ask them
there's
when
something
you're
that I really wanted to like put towards the flat Earth, and
right. I think it would be
yeah.
best if you come back sober and ask your
Yeah.
questions, because then I think you'll be able to retain the answers, right?
I think that's great, Sob.
All right.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
just
really
going to say
good.
that, Dave.
Oh,
We'll
hold
see
on.
you if you're on tomorrow, Soph, and come back on tomorrow sober, and you'll feel a hell of a lot better speaking to us, pal.
Hey, I'm gonna come back and be a part of the show. So
Right on, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I want you to go on off. I'm gonna put you off, and I want you to go get some sleep.
All right, Sob.
Hey,
Hey,
go lay down. All right.
I really appreciate what you do and all your family. I will be back part of the show in no time.
All right, buddy.
brother.
Sober as can be.
And I want to hear. You better come back. I want to hear how this is going. Okay.
But
All right. I'm gonna
all
see
right,
you
thanks,
later,
guys.
Here we go. So there's a lot of people in the same boat as that, man. A lot of people in the same boat. That's unfortunately, and that's one of the things that our government, our beautiful, lovely, caring government, wants to put out there, so that people can wreck their cars and wreck their families and wreck their jobs and wreck their health, while they can simultaneously make money off of it. They promote it socially through their television programming, through their commercials, through all this other shit. And people think that's the thing to do. You know?
That was on my Facebook status last week, mate. The government can happily turn a blind eye to alcohol, no matter how many people it kills, no matter how much it costs the NHS over here. They'll turn a blind eye to that, but they'll arrest you for having cannabis plants in your house.
Right. Yeah.
Backwards.
Why? They don't want you resonating on the high vibration.
Yeah,
You see?
exactly.
You
Don't
in
want
the
you
low
opening your mind.
They don't want you to
in
fix
that
your
low
own
frequency.
problems.
Yeah. Well, and they want you
You
on
want
a
you
low
drunk as a skunk on your way to your grave as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Well, they expect you to go and do the things that you would do, use their services, go and use all the crap. That's the gimmick of it. That's
My brother, he was a heavy alcoholic, and his biggest problem was denial.
Yeah.
His biggest problem was denial. We could all see how bad it was.
It comes from pride.
I caught him going to the shop one morning at 9 o'clock in the morning to get beer.
Well, look, here's the first step in Alcoholics Anonymous. I love the way it goes. Admitted that we were powerless over alcohol, and then our lives had become unmanageable. Okay. No shit. You wouldn't be there if it was, right? I mean, that's just the bottom line to it. But the thing is that powerless. What do you mean I'm powerless? I'm powerless over, I can't not do something? Come on, no bullshit. This is why people say, all I got to do is regulate my drinking. I'll only drink beer. I won't drink till after 5. I won't drink, except on the weekend. I'll only drink white liquor. I'll only drink brown liquor, whatever. They make these little fucking concessions, right? But the reality of that is you don't even realize that if you have to set conditions on yourself, you have a fucking problem. Normal people don't have to do that. The alcoholic does. And the fact that you have to put these controls on yourself and put these little regulations and rules on yourself. And here's what happens so quickly. You go, wow, I've done really good for like about the last month, 2 months. I've done really good. I only drink on weekends. And, so I deserve a little bit of a reward. I'm going to go ahead and have a beer after work instead. Or I'm going to go ahead and have a beer before my prescribed time or something. You're going to reward yourself. That's what's going to happen. And in no short order, you're going to be right the fuck back right where you were. We fool ourselves the best than anybody can. Nobody can fool us better than we can fool ourselves. That's a fact, Jack. And especially when it comes down to a prideful issue. Now, here's another part that gets them too, is because this is only, it's a 12-step program. And a lot of times you have trouble even getting past the second step. A lot of times I tell people, well, of course you're powerless over alcohol and your life become unmanageable. You're at a fucking AA meeting, for crying out loud. Okay? That'll tell you everything you need to know about that step for yourself. But then when you tell them, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Hold the phone. Now you're trying to bring God. And boy, they want to reject God because of the demonic influence. They have a hard time with that God part. And you're saying I'm crazy? Well, yeah, I am. Repeating the same events and expecting different results is ultimately the definition of insanity. Right? But what's the problem with a power higher than yourself? Don't you believe in a creator, God, or anything? No, because in the alcoholic's mind, they are the master of their destiny, the captain of their own ship. They're king shit. Also, another thing, the alcoholic doesn't see themselves as others are viewing them. They tend to look at themselves in a grandiose light. They like, look at how cool I was last night, man. I was singing and I was doing this, that, and the other. And if you used to watch a videotape of yourself, you go, oh my God, I'm so fucking embarrassed. You know? That's the thing it does for you. It keeps tickling your nuts and shit, so you'll keep going. See?
You want to hear something funny?
That's true. That's true.
This is funny. My friend Mike had a band. I used to help him. I had a PA system. So he used to call me and say, hey, why don't you come by? I'll buy you some drinks and stuff. Can we, set up your PA? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll come party. So I was so cooked during this. His band was playing. I tied one on and he was coming over to tell me something was wrong. And he like took them, like he was coming over to get close to me, and I just started singing the song in perfect time while the full band was playing. And he said to me the next day, he called me on the phone and I was wake up out of my slumber. I'm like, what? And he was like talking to me. He's like, man, you were roasted. What are you talking about? He said, you don't remember, do you? I said, no. He said, I was leaning into you with the mic in my hand to tell you something was wrong. And you started singing the song in perfect sync. And I was like, I got to quit drinking. This is bad.
Hey, D-man, listen. I did a gig on Saturday. My brother came with me. And it was for the Christmas party, an early Christmas party. And by 2 hours into the gig, he was stumbling. And I said, I've got my eye on you. You've got to help me down the stairs, back down the stairs with my stuff. He said, I'll be all right. And half an hour later, I clocked him. He was sat on the chair like this.
Yeah, it's so cold.
I said, go and get in my car and wait for me. You're not having any more to drink.
You know what scared me, Sov? Was the health problems I started to have. That's what scared me. That's what did it for me, was the health issues. And I said, you know what? I don't need this crap no more. I had my fun with it. Time to move on.
Yeah.
That was it.
Well, I just need to do this or I'll do that and shit. And it's like, man, the only thing that's going to work for me, and it was ultimately, is abstinence, man. And I gotta say, I was given such a gift, along with the revelation that came to me about that. It was like that huge knowledge dump that took down, and I can't even stand the smell of it. I can't get it past my nose to get it down my throat if I actually wanted to. Anytime I've ever even thought about it, or I see somebody on TV or whatever that take a shot of liquor or something like that, and I go, because I remember that fucking taste and that shake and that burn, and I'm like, I don't miss that fucking shit at all, and I can almost get that aftertaste in the back of my throat, and it's like I just got to shut it out. In fact, during the Holocaust, when all the people were, using that goddamn hand sanitizer everywhere, man. Oh my God. Every time somebody start using that, I'm like, who the fuck's been drinking, man? I can smell that shit everywhere.
Ethyl alcohol. It's got that smell.
Man.
Yeah, I had my fun with it, and I moved on.
Yes, sir.
My nephew came out of school one day, and his hands were red bright. His skin was peeling off, and I said, "What's wrong with your hands?" He said, "I think it's that hand sanitizer at school." So I walked in there and I said, "He doesn't use that anymore. He's allergic to it." I said, "Everyone else can. He's not using it anymore. Thank you." And I walked out again.
DJ, is this video? Is this from you, buddy?
Yeah, I made a video. Usually I do a video about flat Earth, and but for the first time, I made a video because I don't know. Yeah, it's not because of you, but you always talk about Trump and this and that, like not just flat Earth, like everything.
It's the world stage, man.
Yes,
it's the illusions. It's like a big 3-ring circus, man. If you want to really look at the American government that way, you've got the executive, legislative, and judicial branch. There's your 3-ring circus right there.
So I made one.
Full of fucking clowns, baby. Full of them.
You inspired me, so I made one.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and play it then. Hang
There
on.
we go.
Why like them young? Yes, Donnie and his bitch, my platform, baby. Crazy. Come on, social truth, I like I'm crazy. Yeah, Donnie fucking rich, girls don't be lazy. Funny. Puff that in that clip, go buy a hot tub, strip down. Shorty loves the fit, and then he's 80. But still want some Bill Clinton drip, don't wear that safety. Epstein, call you wild and free, these panties chase me. Trying to black my meat, I like the ring. Coming here, it's a soft juice coincide. We got the girlies getting lit. Take all your phone off. Yes, he's the devil, get down on your knee. Don't know why fighting like Magged up, falling stuck in a clip. So slack, I'm Donnie for so done you while you crying. Now we got this furry guy to skirt on mainstream juice news now. Yeah, there's some protest fight. Yeah, there's some president shit. Yeah, there's some Trump shit. Say hoax is magic, no files to see here. Yeah, no files to see here. Say hoax is magic, no files to see here. Why like me on? Yes, Donnie and his bitch, my platform, baby. Come on, social truth, I like I'm crazy. Yeah, Donnie fucking rich, girls don't be lazy. Puff that in that clip, go buy a hot tub, strip down. Shorty loves the fit, and then he's 80. But still want some Bill Clinton drip, don't wear that safety. Epstein, call you wild and free, these panties chase me. Trying to black my meat.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Pretty good.
Well, you
I
know,
thought
it's
it-
all from that. There's an email where I guess Epstein's brother was asking Jeffrey Epstein something about it in an email. I think that's what it was. And said, does Putin ask Putin if he has any the pictures of when Trump blew Bubba? And you know, now they're trying to say, oh, they're that doesn't mean Bill Clinton, and we don't know what you're talking about. But then we found out that Ghislaine Maxwell's had a horse named Bubba. So I don't know, man. Pick one.
I threw a link, second one from the down. What says one number just rewrote all Trump's Epstein excuses. That's a good one. This guy talking about the emails and
Shit, yeah, this guy. This is what I'm saying. You trying to tell me that you're trying to tell me that the King of England basically dethroned his own brother over a hoax, right? Okay, sure. See, that's the one we had. We throw that. Wait a second. Let me make sure I got DJ Newman there twice. All right, so this is the one. All right, then we're gonna go.
I think Benny Hill's frozen.
I think he does look frozen. Either that or he's. Remember Commander Pike in the Star Trek thing? You see a little light come on and blink for once for yes, twice for no. All right, here we go.
Right. So, you know, when a government dumps 20,000 documents from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein, you expect the usual names to float to the top, don't you? Because the press spent years training people to brace for Clinton or some hedge fund ghoul whose lawyer is always on speed dial. What you don't expect, because nobody prepared you for it, is that the most mentioned man in the entire archive isn't even Jeffrey Epstein himself, isn't Bill Clinton, isn't Barack Obama. It's Donald Trump. 1,628 documents, a machine-verified count as that is, more than the trafficker himself. The White House didn't meet this with calm or curiosity. It went straight to calling it a Democratic smear before most people had even opened a single PDF, which tells you they weren't scared of rumors, they were scared of the count. Because once you know the archive names Trump more than Epstein, more than Clinton, more than Obama, the old barely knew him routine doesn't make it out of the opening line anymore, does it? Right, so when a government publishes 20,000 documents from the estate of a convicted trafficker, you expect the names to fall in a certain order, because that's how the public story has been told to us all for years, isn't it? You would expect Epstein himself to be at the top, wouldn't you? Obviously. You expect the usual orbit of wealthy men who kept turning up in reporting around his movements and his more public friendships after that, because the media set that frame long before any of the documents actually surfaced. What you don't expect is that the files actually show, which is that Donald Trump, the sitting president of the United States, appears in more of the documents than literally anybody else. That's what the data says. It's not opinion, not inference, not a political read-in, a machine-verified entity count built on the full 20,000 document release. 1,628 documents mention Trump. Epstein himself appears in 1,060. Obama in 421. Bill Clinton in 392. That puts the President of the United States at the very top of the record of a man whose network ran through trafficking, blackmail, manipulation, and elite protection. And once you've seen a number like that, you can't look back at the public lines Trump has used for so long now, because sound bites like barely knew him, or saw him a few times, or fell out with him and never saw anything, well, they don't survive a count like that, do they? The record contradicts the rhetoric. And in politics, that's usually where the real story starts, isn't it? The files themselves didn't arrive in any clean or orderly manner either. The Oversight Committee just dumped them in raw form. Badly labeled folders, screenshots, inconsistent formatting, multiple layers of redaction, missing metadata. Courier Newsroom had to rebuild the archive just to make it searchable, because the release was closer to a forensic challenge than a transparency exercise. But once it was ingested through Google Pinpoint, the entity panel became visible. That's where that 1,628 figure comes from. Not a partisan claim, not a journalist's interpretation or guesstimate, but a numerical fact extracted by software, no more, no less. And the thing about a numerical fact is that it doesn't care who benefits or who gets hurt by it. It simply returns what is in the archive. And what it returned was Trump's name stamped through the estate files more than anyone else's. And that's the point where the conversation leaves the realm of ideology, isn't it? Because volume is its own kind of truth. If your name appears that many times in the papers of a trafficker, the question isn't what you did, it's why it is there. The documents tell you what the references actually are. There's a 2017 email where Epstein wrote to former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers and called Trump the worst person he'd ever known, adding not one decent cell in his body. So yes, dangerous. That's not fringe opinion. That's Epstein talking about a man he moved in the same circles with years after their supposed falling out. Then there's the 2011 message with Ghislaine Maxwell, in which Epstein wrote that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump, and referenced a victim who had spent hours at my house with him. The victim's name is redacted, and the document stops short of any direct allegation of criminal conduct, but the proximity is undeniable. You also see tracking. Epstein monitoring Trump's movements, logging his travel, watching his fundraisers, pulling.
Wouldn't that be some shit if you find out that Trump was running the whole fucking thing? That Epstein worked for Trump?
Maybe.
You
They have a
know?
lot of chick connections, that's for sure.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It's like with the Clintons, how they know so many fucking people that have committed self-deletion, right? Okay, here's a guy. Look at all the freaking PDF files he knows. Come on. How do you know so many freaking PDF files? You knew Ghislaine Maxwell. You knew Jeffrey Epstein, your spiritual advisor, his wife. God knows there's countless other ones too, man. It's like, good God, man. I maybe know one person, vaguely, not like a hang out with or anything else like that, but know of one person that I would suspect maybe is, but I don't know. There's been no proof of it or anything like that. But the thing is that I'm looking at is this motherfucker, every time he turns around and he's like bumping into pedophiles. I don't
And
get
he seems
it,
to
man.
want to party with them a lot.
God.
You know this phrase? You can say a lot about man or woman by assessing his or her surrounding.
I'm sorry, what did you say again?
That you can say the phrase. You can say a lot about man or woman by accessing his surrounding, people he is surrounded with.
All right, birds of a feather flock together. That's I don't know if you've ever heard that one before, but
yes, I did.
Tends to be true. So I don't know. Poor Christian, aka Wesley, is really having a rough time in here. He tries to come in and use that tired ass reversal fallacy shit all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Tired ass. I can turn into a chicken, proof that I can't.
What he's saying exactly? I don't see his text.
He's insane, man.
Noting events, which suggests a kind of attention that doesn't match the public story of estrangement and dislike. And I'll come back to that because it's one thing for a former friend to keep tabs on you, and another for a trafficker under scrutiny to keep a running record of your movements years after any claimed falling out. Further reporting adds another layer because it confirms the email in which Epstein claimed that Trump knew about the girls. That is Epstein's claim, not independently verified evidence of Trump's knowledge of underage trafficking, but the presence of the claim in the estate files matters because it turns what was previously rumor into something the congressional record now contains. And when you combine that with the volume of references, you start to see why the White House came out swinging the moment the documents were released. They didn't wait for context or interpretation or analysis. They called it a democratic smear before the public had even seen the counts, let alone the details. That defensive instinct tells its own story because calm governments they don't panic at documents they believe exonerate them, do they? They let transparency take its course. Panic is what happens when the documents don't align with the narrative you've been selling. And Trump himself hasn't managed this well at all. Reporters on Air Force One apparently asked about the emails and the president shouted quiet at them because that's what happens when...
See you later, Art. He says, thanks for the 12 step. Good job, buddy. See you next time.
The political problem is not the question, but the existence of the record. And this is why the numerical fact matters. If this was just 3 emails with redacted names on them, the White House could just drown that out in noise. But the volume makes that tactic absolutely useless. 1,628 document hits. It's not a narrative to argue with. It's a wall of evidence you either explain or avoid. And the White House has chosen avoidance. The problem is that Congress has run out of patience with that. And this is where the mechanics matter. A discharge petition needs 218 signatures. It got them. That forces a vote on the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which obliges the Department of Justice to release every unclassified Epstein-related document in its possession. And this is...
Why do they have to vote on it at all?
Yeah.
It should be released. That's all.
Yep. If it shows illegal shit,
yes.
Why
You don't get to call national security to cover your crimes.
Yep.
Come on.
Watch them suddenly, all of a sudden, make all those other ones classified so nothing else gets released. Watch.
Yeah.
is where the political stakes rise because the DOJ.
Listen, I think Trump's had it. I do. I don't see how he can recover from this.
Well, he doesn't have to.
Oh, no, I think it's part of the show, though. I think it's part of the show. It's pulling the rug out from underneath these magatards, which they was wanting to do, and it's going to put the good old Palantir JD Pants right there in the hot seat.
Yep.
Now you watch some shit go.
Yeah, then we'll basically be living in China at that point. Phones will be giving you a heart attack.
But I've said it from the onset earlier this year that I don't think Donald Trump is going to finish this term. I think it may be a health-related thing, perhaps die, but I do not feel like he's going to finish this term, and I felt like that for a while now.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I learned something yesterday that JD Vance has changed his name 3 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's been 3 different characters by the same actor.
How the hell did he pass the test to be? How did he go through all the screening and all the shit to become a vice president? I don't know, but I've never known anybody to change their name 3 times, and I've been around. Ever.
I don't know, man. It's pretty.
Have you ever met anybody that's changed their name 3 times?
No. And it's questionable about his whole background just being made up shit, you know?
Yeah.
But there again, these are actors, man. They're actors, central casting. This show is going to be over soon, real quick. Something big is coming, man. I feel it. And I think this is the last little bit of it, and they're just fucking playing out whatever they can, you know. But their crimes, listen, all that's going to be out in the open anyway. All of it's going to be out in the open anyways when that final time comes. It's going to be on display for everyone.
Yeah,
it's the whole thing.
J archive is much larger than these estate files. Reports have confirmed that what we've seen so far is only a fraction of what the DOJ holds. Ledgers, diaries, calendars, full email exports, digital materials seized by investigators years ago. None of that is in the public domain yet. And I'll spell it out because this is the moment where the scale becomes clear. If a fraction of the archive puts Trump's name at 1,628 mentions, the question isn't whether there will be more in the full set, is it? It's how many more? Trump's defenders have tried to anchor the conversation what's familiar. Clinton's flights, Clinton's previous friendship with Epstein, but the data doesn't support that framing anymore. And that's why this story is dangerous in a way the earlier cycles were not. Clinton appears in 392 documents. Certainly, there are questions to ask about that, aren't there? Obama appears in 421. Trump appears in over 4 times that number, though. The political narrative that always pushed Clinton to the center collapses instantly when confronted by the actual record. And this isn't speculation, it's simple numerical ranking. If you want to understand who Epstein was thinking about, writing about, referring to, tracking, and discussing the most, the list is right there, and Trump is right at the top of it. Now we'll deal with the obvious point because it's the one the White House hangs on. None of this proves criminality. The emails and references do not establish that Trump committed offenses or participated in Epstein's trafficking network. They show association, interest, commentary, criticism, travel logging, and references to shared social environments. They do not show direct involvement in Epstein's crimes, but that doesn't rescue Trump from the political crisis because the problem is not guilt. The problem is proximity. When the estate files of a trafficker contain your name more than anyone else's, that's a national security issue because it raises questions about compromise, leverage, and undisclosed relationships. You don't need conspiracy when you have numbers. And what makes this even more serious is the fact that a sitting president has direct influence over what the DOJ does and does not release. That is a conflict of interest so enormous, it doesn't need any further embellishment. The man most mentioned in the files is the man with the most power over the files. And you don't need imagination to see why Congress is done leaving this to executive discretion, therefore. The Oversight Committee's messy release hints at another problem, redactions. Courier Newsroom noted that many documents were heavily blacked out, sometimes to the point of losing context. The DOJ controls redaction policy on unclassified records. They decide what falls under victim protection, what falls under ongoing investigation, and what falls under discretionary privacy shielding. I'm not questioning the legitimacy of protecting victims. That is non-negotiable. But you can see how a government could hide far more than victim details behind a blanket of redaction, can't you? Because once you wrap it in the language of protection, oversight has to fight uphill to reclaim transparency. And that's why the discharge petition matters so much. It forces the DOJ into statutory release, and statutory release reduces discretionary silence. In plain terms, it takes control out of the hands of the one person who stands to lose the most from full disclosure. So this brings me to the question that probably matters most, because it gets to the whole heart of the contradiction. Why did Epstein keep tracking Trump long after this supposed falling out? Reports show years of attention, counting travel, logging events, monitoring fundraisers, collecting articles. It's not what you do when a man has no influence on your world anymore, is it? That's what you do when someone still matters to your ecosystem. And again, this doesn't prove any wrongdoing. It simply proves his proximity. Epstein tracked people when he believed they were useful, threatening, or positioned in ways that touched his interests. That's the pattern across his correspondence. So when you see Trump marked out as the dog that hasn't barked, you're looking at Epstein's own assessment that Trump was a missing piece in a story that otherwise had become public. And that line alone tells you why Trump has always reacted so violently to this story. The public line is one of distance. The private documents show persistent attention and proximity instead. Politics comes undone when the record contradicts the script. And you also have the problem of institutional memory too, because for 20 years, this story has been channeled through a Clinton-centric frame. The files break that open. They force the media to confront a documented reality that was hidden behind assumption and narrative momentum. And that matters because it changes the political terrain. Once the data contradicts the long-standing story, you have to ask who shaped that story and why. I won't speculate on motive because there's no direct evidence or coordination, at least none that we know of thus far. But the consequence is still obvious. The narrative shield that protected Trump by directing attention elsewhere has fallen. And once the shield drops, the record then takes over. There's one more point that he's saying because it sits at the junction of power and secrecy here. The President of the United States is at the top of the entity count in the estate files of a trafficker, and that president has influence through DOJ appointments, through executive priorities, through classification culture, over what parts of the remaining archives see daylight. That's not a sustainable position in a functioning democracy. No country can leave the release of compromising material to the discretion of the person most mentioned within it. And that's why this isn't a scandal story anymore. It's a transparency crisis. Congress knows that. You don't get 218 signatures on a discharge petition unless members in both parties think the risk of suppressing the files is higher than the risk of releasing them. And that tells you everything about where this is heading. The truth is the White House no longer has control of the frame. The number took that away now. 1,628 references is not a detail, it's a structural fact. It's a kind of fact that forces legislative action, fractures political alliances, and reshapes public narratives. And you can already see the pivot happening. Republicans who spent years defending Trump on this issue are stepping back because the political cost of defending a statistical outlier of this magnitude is just too high for them. Democrats obviously smell opportunity. But the point is not partisan, it's institutional. If the
let me address something here real quick. Wesley, you know, you're gonna have to stop. I don't know why you just want to continuously be a turd all the time. So why don't you go ahead and you know, I'm gonna give you a minute. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to think about it. Okay. So go sit in the corner for 5 minutes, Christian. And then what you can do is come back and stop trying to needle people, stop being a turd, a disruption. I don't know why you want to be the fart in the elevator. You know, why don't you just be fucking cool? Why is that such a problem for you?
The turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah, a turd in the punch bowl, a fart in the elevator. You know, you just stop, man. Okay? It's all you want to do is cause trouble. And we don't need that here, man. If you got something logical you want to talk about, but you never do, you could come up. But you never have logical discussions. You twist people's words into shit that they didn't say. You laugh like somebody put a gerbil up your ass. You know, you're really just a weird...
really, Sav? Really? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really, Sav?
Yeah. Yeah. So, just why are you even fucking here? Why are you even here? That's what I have to ask myself.
What'd you say,
Why
Sav?
are you
What?
even here?
He's
Right?
being paid money.
I don't know.
Another agent.
Sure. In one form or another, he's
Shut up, D
definitely
man. You're
not.
the last person to talk. What'd you say? What? Yeah.
He's definitely not a smart person. Definitely not smart at all. He thinks he's smart, but
I
that's the
miss
worst
it.
type of idiot.
To who you're referring, Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a recollection of our talks on the South Channel before, like a full retard, just to put the freaking
not
problems.
a smart person, not a smart person in the least bit.
No, he is
Very,
smart
very
in his own
immature.
mind.
Yeah, he's very, very immature. He's like, I think he's got a mental maturity level of about maybe 13. And that's giving him some credit because my grandson's 13 and he's way more mature acting than that guy. So
look, some people develop in different rate, so he has some time to go.
yeah, but at a certain point, you got to go, hey, it's not going to get any better than this. That's I had to say something.
That's possible, yeah.
I knew these people. They had this daughter, and she was really slow, and the parents weren't real swift either.
But I don't get it. Everyone
well,
wants
this
him.
is funny though. The mom came. She was talking to me one day, and she goes, "Yeah, it was about something stupid that the daughter had done too." And she goes, "Yeah, well, a while ago, the doctor told us that her body was growing faster than her brain." And I says, it's not going to catch up. Okay. I'm sorry to tell you this, but that's never going to catch up. Okay. Her brain stopped, man, long time ago. It's not going to, it's all done. That's it. And she goes, "Well, what are you saying?" I said, "She's fucking retarded, man. I mean, there's no other kind way to say it. I mean, nobody's ever told you that girl is literally retarded." "Well, yeah, they did, but we went and got a second opinion." I was like, oh.
She's ugly too.
Well, here's a third one. Man. Wow.
The country is going to take Epstein's crime seriously, then it cannot ignore the presence of the sitting president at the top of the estate documents. And if it's going to claim transparency, then it cannot leave the fate of the remaining files to executive discretion. And that's where this story lands. So here's the verdict, because at this point, the conclusion pretty much writes itself. When the estate files of Jeffrey Epstein mentioned the president of the United States more than Jeffrey Epstein himself, you're not looking at a scandal anymore. You're looking at a national security problem, a transparency crisis, and a political narrative that collapsed the moment the data was released. You can shout at reporters, you can blame Democrats, you can attack committees, and Trump, I'm sure, will continue to do so. But you can't talk down a number. And that's the thing Trump has never understood. The record doesn't care what he says. It only cares what it contains. And right now, it contains his name 1,628 times, and that is just for starters. For as much as it's doing Donald Trump untold damage right now, this Epstein story has in a roundabout way just done Lebanon a massive favor at the same time, to do with someone else appearing in the emails that might now give them some leverage. So do check out the details of that story here. Please do also hit like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, so as to ensure you don't miss out on all new daily content, as well as spreading the word and helping to support the channel at the same time, which is very much appreciated, holding power to account for ordinary working class people. I'll hope to catch you on the next one.
All right. That was a pretty good one. LJ, thank you for your super chat over on the Rumble side.
Salva, you frozen?
Wait.
Oh, okay.
No, I was reading something. I hate that. That fucking thing keeps playing automatically. Is there a thing on here for that? How do I make it not play automatically on BitChute? I'll have to get into it later.
HR Big said, "I just walked in. I just got here. Heard retarded girl and saw that."
Okay, so I'm gonna put this. This is the super chat that LJ put up over there. I'm going to copy it and paste it into the chat.
Cool. Thanks,
so that
LJ.
you can see it. Hopefully it all goes in there. And what did he say here? He says, friendly reminder that we still can't go and watch rockets land on Earth. Witness here in person. Nobody can drop a link in chat for any official website to book a future one. So, like a future viewing or anything else like that. That is interesting because you always hear these people clapping, and cheering and shit when they're showing that on camera. It's coming down, right? Where the fuck?
It's
look
like
at
sometimes,
that.
Sometimes I'm on the plane and I freaking when there's we are after landing, we all land, I hear clapping. It's like, what the fuck?
So who is that? I believe this great quote from Arwen today. Okay. I'm an elf. I have no time for people who can't tell what's real and what's not. Okay.
Well, Arwen's a special person.
He's been playing too much Dungeons and Dragons. I'm an orc, and I have a +4 elven sword.
I don't want to be the monk.
I want to be the cleric. The cleric.
Nobody ever wanted to be the monk.
Oh, I did. I did it because I found out that once you get through a few things, there you had a lot of power. It was just making it to that point, which is not the easiest trick in the book. Not at all. Look at there. What's this guy saying? Prove me wrong.
I was usually using character combine physical power and mental power, like a paladin, for example.
17.
I filled like 5 or 6 in the private chat, just here and there. There's spiritual, another, what do you call it, one for you. Diabolical AI means is kind of funny, but it's kind of crude.
Oh my.
And this is how they enslave you is basically the electricity one that I got from them talking about that wheel and Tesla and a bunch of stuff. I thought that one was kind of interesting too.
Master of Spin.
Yeah, that's basically showing you the different RPM from the center all the way out to the south, that it's at different speeds.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing: they go, well, we only measure it in rotations per day, and it's like, well, just because you don't observe it in your you just ignoring centripetal speed is not going to make it go away.
Yep.
I mean, that's what they think. That's what they think, and they think because it appears to not be moving very fast. 1,000 miles an hour is 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
If I've got a speedboat that does 300 miles an hour, and the really slick ones, and I'm just making up these speeds. I got a little speedboat that does 100 miles an hour, and I got a great big ocean liner that also does 100 miles an hour. And they both leave New York at the same time. Which one's going to get to England first? They're going to get there at the same time because they're both going 100 fucking miles an hour. It don't matter how big the goddamn thing is. You're still going the same speed. That's what I don't understand. But it's very large. So what?
I did a test when I was a kid. This is kind of crude, but me and my friends got this genius idea. You ever see those like turn things that have the railings on it that you stand on when you were a kid and your friend would spin you around? They're like it's like a metal platform that spins around, like they're in the playgrounds, and they got the metal rails that are welded to it, and you can stand on it. I forget what they call them, like carousel. Yeah, but it's like one you stand on, but it's not powered. Your friend has to go over and push it to spin you around. My buddy had a moped, and he took the wheel of the moped and put it up against the side of it and said, all right, go ahead, hop on. And he started the moped. So we were standing, me and my friend was standing in the middle of it, like right up against the axle, the rotating shaft in the middle. And you're spinning so fast because the ratio was so tight that it was like it didn't give you a lot of force, like it wanted to rip you off of it, but it spun so fast that it almost made you black out. And I just couldn't do it. I was like, come on, stop, because I was going to lose it. My friend...
centrifugal force.
Yeah. And my friend decided he wanted to stand all the way on the edge of it, not in the middle. And he's like, all right, go ahead. So he's holding onto the railings. And I mean, that moped on the ground could go 45 miles an hour. Okay. He floored it. And as he spun around, it whipped him off of that thing. I mean, it whipped him into the playground and he separated his shoulder and we all got nervous. And I thought, holy crap, how did we stand in the middle? And that didn't happen. But when he went to the outside, so I'm like, hop on, hook that thing up. And I went over and like hooked myself into the metal piece so that I could stay in there. And yeah, centrifugal force from it spinning, the force was so much greater on the outside than it was if you were standing in the middle. You were just spinning faster in the middle.
That's why women live longer.
This is a great video
because you have always crazy ideas, you know.
I know. But when you're a boy and you're insane and your friends are standing around like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, you guys are little pussies.
Why not?
Yeah. You know, you'll do it.
So what are you, some kind of Mary?
Yeah, what are you exactly? What are you, pansy? Get over there, get on there. And I'm like, yeah, I can do this.
There's a few videos on YouTube of that, you know, the moped on the carousel.
Yeah, my friends did it.
There's a few videos on YouTube, and some of the people go spinning off.
Oh, it spit him off. It spit him off of that thing and shot him like 5.
It's brilliant to watch, though.
That thing.
Listen, I've seen it. I'll tell you, the thing that gets me about it is that I remember that is when I was really little. In fact, I know it's got to be like kindergarten because, you know, we had a globe in the classroom. And I remember I was out on, you know, I loved playing on the merry-go-round. That was a trip, man. You could get that thing going and try to hang on as best you can, you know, and get it going as fast as possible. And I couldn't reconcile that. They're telling me that the earth is rotating, but I'm sticking to it. It's pulling me to it. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That thing out there is spinning around and it was doing everything it could to throw me the fuck off of it.
Yeah.
So how's this working? And they said, well, it's gravity. And I said, well, what do you mean it's gravity? What is that? Like, and they said, well, it's like magnetism. And I said, yeah, but I'm not magnetic. I'm not made out of metal, you know? And they says, well, it kind of, you'll learn about it later on, but that's what keeps everything on the earth. And I was like, that don't make any sense. That doesn't make, it just never made any sense. But then after a while, you know, they tell you all this bullshit. You're, fuck it. Okay, yeah, write it back down the way you told it to me. I got to get the fuck out of here, this prison. And, you know, then you come later on in your life, like in these days, and you start going, wait a fucking minute here. There's no need for any kind of a force at all. What are you talking about? A force? I keep hearing this. People argue with me all the time. They say, well, what is pulling everything down? I said, it's not nothing being pulled anywhere.
Its weight is holding it down.
Yeah, it's just its own relative density within the medium. Look at me. You know, I'm being pulled to the ground. But then if I go into the water and the ground is, you know, 20 feet below me and I'm flying now, I'm not being pulled to the ground anymore. What did I change? I changed the fluid medium density.
Yep.
That's all. All I have to do is change the density of the medium in relation to the object, and the weight will change.
Saw one of the greatest examples.
Yeah? Go on.
I'm sorry. One of the greatest examples was I watched the video of the Red Bull jump, and they had a graph on there showing how fast he was falling when he went off. He was falling. The rate he was falling was insane.
Yeah.
Until he got to like a certain height, and then he slowed down.
Yep.
In free fall.
Yeah.
And I said, whoa, wait a minute. I heard a guy doing a breakdown of it. He said he was falling faster the higher he was.
Yes.
Then as he went down lower, he slowed down.
Yeah.
And I said, wait a minute, that's not possible because you're falling in free fall. But it's because of the density of what he was traveling through.
Yep.
When he was higher up, it was less dense. And when he was falling at lower, it was more dense. So it slowed him down in free fall. That's something to tell people because they're going to be like, no way. Be like, no, you can see the graph. You could see literally how far he fell. And then all of a sudden, boom, then the needle on the graph changed. And I was like, look at that. He's falling through a thicker medium. He's falling through more air resistance.
Mm-hmm. If that would be really the case, that gravity, so-called, is pulling us down, we would have fat legs because it's closer to the Earth, yeah? So stronger force. And then you wouldn't be seeing people with the what's the word? Hydrocephalus. Like a big heads.
Yeah, waterhead.
All would be in the legs, yeah?
Waterhead.
Yeah, waterhead, exactly.
Yeah, waterheads, hydrocephalics.
Yeah, so it wouldn't happen because all will be in the legs.
Then there's, you know what an anencephalic is?
Yes.
Somebody born without a brain.
Craig McNeil.
And
So
yeah, there you go.
Mainly it's majority of the population because they all believe in a globe.
If only his mother would have swallowed.
This video was a great example of that force from the spinning itself would change as you would go further away from the center. Great.
I can visualize that in my head. It was always been a problem with in my mind. I'm going, you're going to north to south, man. You're going to have to keep compensating.
I remember Sophie made a very good point once. You said, okay, if there's gravity, so from where this energy for the gravity comes from and why it's never run out. That's a very good point.
That's what I ask all the time. They say, well, mass attracts mass. I said, why? Why? Where does mass get the energy to create a gravitational force?
Or a magnetic force for metals.
Well, a magnetic force comes from electricity ultimately, and in what they call a permanent magnet is not really a permanent magnet. It just means it doesn't have a continuing supply of energy. No more than a woman's permanent hairdo is actually a permanent. It's why you'd only ever have to get one, and then you'd be stuck with it, right? So what they call a permanent magnet will actually lose magnetism over a period of time easily.
Yeah, everybody's had fridge magnets that just fall off.
My cupboard magnets, my cabinet magnets in my kitchen cupboards are wore out. I have to replace them. They don't even stick hardly at all.
I had a huge magnet for magnet fishing in the canal. You just toss a magnet into the canal.
No,
Look who we got. Look who we got with us. This guy, he's fantastic. You ought to watch. He gets like 5 viewers watching his show. It's awesome. And maybe Sergeant Rock of Easy Company, if you'd like to click that link and maybe come up here and explain where mass gets its energy to create a gravitational force and why it doesn't ever run out, that would be like pretty cool, dude. And you can go back and tell your 5 people that watch your show all about it. Anyway.
Bragging about thinking for yourself. How dare you?
Yeah, don't you dare think.
Yeah, you know what Sophie was saying that there is like nothing permanent. Yeah, exactly. There is kind of nothing permanent, but unfortunately we can see permanently we have idiots on the channel.
Yeah.
So that's one constant.
Well, yeah. Anyway.
Okay, this video is about
teacher said. Why do you not listen to what teacher said?
If you like to have someone who is telling you what to do and how you should live your life, be my guest. I prefer be free. And don't be indoctrinated. If you choose to believe lies, it's on you. If you prefer to stay ignorant, it's on you. Be my guest.
All right. I'm going to try to get through this because after this video, I think we're going to have to shut it down. I'm going 3.5 hours here.
Rotation of the Earth, and I'm going to present great evidence to debunk the
pay attention, Sergeant Rock
rotation right here in this video. Okay, so about a couple years ago, I challenged pilots to fly from the North Pole, and I put out a video. Here it is. So this is a new video, a little more updated. So it's a new challenge. I challenge all pilots to go to the North Pole and fly to the equator fixed to the background stars. The pilot would very soon see the ground rotating from west to east under the aircraft and would be met with the rotating attached air. Of course, the air is attached to the ground. That's how we live, but they've hijacked our flat stationary reality and call it a spinning ball. But we're going to debunk that right here with this video. Okay, so that wall of attached air is going to slam the aircraft in the form of a wall of wind. And this debunks the spinning space ball right here, because no such thing ever occurs. You might say, well, yeah, but nobody navigates by the stars. Well, okay, I'll deal with that in a second. So I had put this challenge out a couple or so years ago, but only got Bob saying, that's not how we navigate an airplane, P-Wayne. That idiot. This will clearly show the absurdity of the spinning space ball. If anyone would actually attempt this or just think this through as a mental exercise, you'll see the absurdity of saying that we live on a spinning ball. Now, in the history of all aviation, 100 or so years, right? And I'm sure thousands of aircraft have arrived and departed the North Pole, yet not one story of the ground rotating out from under the aircraft from west to east or getting hit with the rotating air. Now, I know, the air rotates with the ground, P-Wayne. It's called conservation of angular momentum. The air is rotating with the ground. Yes, but the reason I'm saying go to the, because a lot of times people do say, like, you know, if you lift up at the equator, the ground should rotate out from under you 1,000 miles per hour. Well, no, because if you go with their model, I'm going to beat them at their model. Their model says the atmosphere is rotating with you, so you would just be carried along, like being up in an airplane. You know, they like to use that one. At the North Pole, there is no rotation to speak of. All right. So if you take off at the North Pole, you could be fixed right away to the background stars. And then if you head down to the equator, fixed to the stars, you would have to see the Earth rotating out from under you, and you'd get hit with ever increasing massive wind. All right. So again, I'm sure over the hundreds of years, thousands of pilots have departed the North Pole, and some would have flown on a southwest orientation, which would have lined them up with the fixed stars, even momentarily or forever, how long, an hour, long enough that they would start to get hit. You know, as they're still heading south, they would start to get hit with the rotating atmosphere. Obviously, this has never been reported. No stories like this. And you know why that is? Because the spinning space ball is fake.
Space is fake! Space is fake! Space is fake!
Can you not see that?
Yeah, that's why. It's fake. Okay, so I'm going to play this little video I made right here, animation, and I will be doing more on the rotation because I find this to be the easiest way to debunk these people. All right. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Can you not see that?
Space is fake! Space is fake!
Can you not see that?
The idea of that kind of air blowing across while a plane is trying to fly a perfectly straight line means it would have to turn into the wind, and then it would actually, the air hitting the plane would start to push it backwards. It would never go, it wouldn't be able to counteract the airspeed.
No.
And it would be pushing it sideways. So how would you even get it to turn? You wouldn't be able at those speeds. It would break apart if you had that kind of crosswind and you turned into it. It would snap the wings right off that ding, and it snap to this. You think about how goofy it is.
Luke joined us a little bit late. This is we're getting ready to sign off, but he's up here. Anything you wanted to say there, Luke?
How you doing?
Hey.
Yeah, just wanted to talk about the chap you had the other night going on about the trust.
We're getting ready. I'm getting ready to shut her down. It's 3.5 hours. We've been going. We'll have to be a little bit earlier. We'll be on again tomorrow.
Oh no, I wasn't going to go on a big rant. I was just saying that I don't know of anyone who's accessed cash, but I do know people personally who are using their trust to discharge debts.
Yeah.
Everything as small as a $200 utilities bill up to, $1 million mortgages. So it is possible, but that bloke sounded really dodgy. And all I was saying, if you're going to get in,
that website's got that website. They to get all the information, you got to pay them $100.
Yeah.
Why would you need $100?
Yeah, well, there's people who will teach you to do it. There's people who will teach you to do it for free.
Go to my channel; it's for free.
There's nothing's your time. You have to spend your time at least, and you do have to do a lot of research because you can get yourself into a lot of trouble if you don't know what you're doing. So, just be very mindful of that if you want to go down that path. That's all I would suggest.
So Mark Pugner asks, I wonder how many flat Earth pilots there are. All of them. Because if they tried to account for the curve, they would crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask any of them if they have ever seen a curve of the Earth. They will tell you never. It's flat.
Especially if you were flying a very long distance, the hump that would be in between you would be higher. You would have to fly higher than the ceiling of the actual construction of the plane to get over it. So if you flew 10 hours, that means you'd have to go way, way high to get over the hump in the middle. Because you'd be traveling up.
How lucky you are. Think how lucky you are not to be on board with all that shit.
Well, nobody has a firsthand observation of that. And Luke, there's a lot of good information out there. We'll get Ryan on again one night and we'll go over a few things. Be sure, if you're not, to go over to Burn the Corporate Fiction. He's got quite a lot of good information regarding that stuff there. And like I said, I got to shut her down. I'm 3.5 hours. I'm ready to
Good
get
to see
out.
everybody. Good to see everybody.
3
Take
hours.
care, everyone. Yeah, it's a P1000, Mike.
Dude, when I just said that 333, it was 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 3 seconds. When I said that, I was like,
"Oh, fucking Mason,
get the fuck out of here!"
That's what it said out here.
Are you a traveling man?
Love you all. Nice one.
Good to see you, Benny.
I get around.
He's traveling.
I get around, but I ain't a traveling man. I get around, but I ain't no traveling man. All right, guys. Thanks for coming up tonight. Everybody that showed up in chat, it's been a great night. We'll see you next time. Tomorrow is our regular Tuesday show. So be sure and subscribe to my backup channel and my Rumble channel. I'm thinking of a movie this weekend. So we'll probably start off here and then go over to Rumble, watch a really cool movie that kind of shows the illusions. And If you want to help support the show, the links are in the description and they're going across the bottom of the screen right now, my PayPal and Cash App. And as we always like to say here, don't forget the Lord loves a working man. Don't never, ever, ever trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him because he'll probably fucking kill you. And if you heard the shot, probably wasn't meant for you. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Good night.